Yo, what's up, fam? We just hit 5,000 subs. I think we can get 6,000 if you really like this. So if you like this video, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, because today we're going to be reviewing the Windows installer.
What's up, Mike Wazowski enthusiasts? Welcome back to another episode of Trash Days.
My favorite, Mike Wazowski.
Yeah, you're all Mike Wazowski enthusiasts. I'm your host, Joey, and with me is Gart and Connor. You know who we are.
Wow, that was just like, let's just jump right into it.
No wasting time. You guys know who we are. We're fucking, how many episodes? 25 at this point? 26?
Don't remind me, man.
I don't even know.
This is 25, I believe.
I saw a brilliant comment. I think it was on episode 21 or 22 or something.
Right.
That said, the top comment was like, how has it already been 22 episodes? It still feels like episode 4.
No, I totally agree. Like I can't remember how many episodes it was ago where I was like, yeah, we're just like a month into this, right?
Yeah.
And it was like episode 18 or something.
Yeah, I remember you said that. I was like, that math don't add up.
18 weeks in a month, you know? That's what it's felt like this year. Fucking hell.
God.
Yeah, but what are we going to talk about today, lads?
Well, this is the YouTuber episode, so we're going to discuss some of our
Ooh.
favorite YouTubers and just generally discuss YouTubers that we watch and ones that we want to talk about.
Yep.
Basically, we're just simping over other content creators.
Your favorite
basically.
YouTuber's favorite YouTuber. Who is it? Who's it going to be?
Yeah.
Still want to bear in mind that we've said this before, but sometimes people forget it. They have to come here to be on the podcast. No exceptions.
I love all the comments which are like, but they have a TV.
Yeah.
You can just get them on a Skype call.
It's
Oh
Right?
yeah, but listen, we
decoration.
can talk about the Cali episode now because that's
now that it's out.
and all the speculation that they were like, oh yeah, she's just gonna appear on the TV,
Yeah.
right?
And then we just fucking dunked on them, being like, JK, she's right here.
Callie was indeed there.
Oh yeah, I don't know if we actually prefaced in that episode because it's been like, what, 4 weeks? As of us recording
Yeah,
this, that it
yeah.
came out. But yeah, for people who are wondering, she was physically sitting right here as well.
Callie, that is.
Callie was, yes.
Yeah.
So we just
Aileen's
want to
looking at me because we
Yeah.
signed an NDA.
yeah. We just want to preface that, like, she was actually here.
Yeah.
We can say we signed an NDA, right? Like, okay, we signed an NDA.
Well,
There's no
I think it's pretty obvious that we would have had to sign an
Is
NDA.
there an NDA on us signing an NDA? Or
Just want to make sure. What's the NDA level? How many NDAs do you do?
we can't disclose that we've signed an NDA.
Say how it was done.
Okay,
Okay,
you can't say
yeah.
how it was done, but you
Yeah.
guys know how it was done. It's
Yeah,
pretty
we,
obvious how it was done.
yeah, we did it. We did it. We nailed it.
But I've had 2 hell weeks back to back.
Man,
boys.
you have had the worst fucking experience on YouTube.
I know, because this is a YouTube related thing, so we'll jump into the YouTubers after this.
Yeah.
But, so on the Convention Horror Story episode, which is episode 23, I believe.
22.
Is it 22?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. Well,
Dude,
that
I don't remember the episode numbers.
Yeah.
Well, that episode we recorded. I spoke about getting hired to do the Samsung ad, and we were like, hee, that's funny. I got undercharged. It turned out it was not hee funny because the company fucking struck my video down, and it was just, oh my god, like it was almost worse that they replied to our emails.
Yeah.
because normally you just, if it's Sony or it's a giant music company.
To explain, they content claimed your video. Am I correct? Like, so they gave you a copyright strike.
Yeah,
they
so-
copy striked your video, right?
Yeah. Can we copy strike
And
C.VX?
normally, like as a YouTuber, as like especially when you've done like from especially someone in my position who's used anime footage, copyright strikes aren't anything new for me. But my normal the normal thing I do is I like reply to them being like, hey, this is like fair use and everything.
Yeah.
And 90% of the time, they just don't reply because they're Japanese companies. They don't give a shit. So I've never dealt with a copy strike situation
Where they've replied.
Where they've just like,
Yeah.
where they've just like
They're
backed
like,
it up.
actually?
I almost wish they didn't because oh my god.
It must be hell.
It was like this. I've never had like a more like rude company. Like,
Yeah.
and like I don't expect them to be nice to me because they don't owe me anything. But just being like polite would be nice.
You've had some seriously bad luck
I've
with
had
copyright. I
really
mean,
bad
like the
luck.
whole
Yeah.
like outro, like
my
music thing as
whole
well, right?
all of my videos have been claimed twice. So I lost a lot of money on that, and then this one obviously happened. But this one was just frustrating because they hired me.
Yeah.
So the ad that I'm voicing in, they struck me for. And their reasoning was because I showed the footage, and in my Fiverr gig where they hired me, right? So the video was for people who don't know. I was doing a video where I was a Fiverr seller and I was a voice actor. And on my Fiverr gig, I said like, hey, anything you order will be used in the video.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey man, you guys know that I was going to use this. Like,
Yeah.
one, you
Yeah.
should have told me. Can you like at least give me the like, because this was misunderstanding and whatever. Like, give me a chance to remove the footage. Because on YouTube, you can actually edit the video live. So you can actually remove stuff from this. We all know this, right?
Yeah.
So I was saying like, hey, just remove the strike. It takes one button and I'll get rid of the copyright stuff right away.
Right.
Like clearly this is not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like let's just sort this out. And their response was like, we're too busy. And bear in mind, it is one button. It is one button to remove the strike, right?
But it's a button that's just so far away.
Their reply was something along the lines of, we have so many projects going on. We're extremely busy. Bear in mind, our email chain is like 20 fucking emails that are huge. Like this is bullshit.
As if you're not busy.
It was less buttons to claim the video in the first place. Like, what the hell?
And I told them in the email, like, you could have emailed me and I would have removed it ASAP. And they're like, well, we don't know that. We didn't want to deal with talking and all that.
Because to explain, there are several levels of copyright strike, right? You can just claim the content and give the content creator 0 strikes, and then if you do that, then they can edit out the copyrighted material,
which I would have done.
Yeah, and which he would have done. No, but they went like the nuclear option. They just straight up gave you a strike, put a strike in your account,
took the video down,
and so you have 0 control over the video. To explain to people.
And a strike is, I mean, I'm sure you all know this, but 3 strikes and your channel's gone of copyright strikes. And, I explained that to them and they were like, well, not our problem. And I was like, well, I mean, kind of is because you're the one who did this and, it doesn't really need to be this way. And it's very easy to fix. And they just kept saying like, well, we don't really care. And it was just awful. And fuck, what else happened? God, I might have to cut something while I think about the story.
And I remember you politely saying, but hey, like I probably need to talk about this on my channel.
Yeah.
So I told them like, hey, because they were just being so uncooperative, and they were fine with the idea of me editing it out, but they kept saying, hey, just ask YouTube to do it. Just ask YouTube. The problem is that YouTube, as it should be, isn't involved with this. It doesn't involve.
They're
YouTube.
just the mediator. Right?
They're just the ones who host it. Right? It's not their problem. They're like, well, they kept saying we've gone through YouTube, so why are you contacting us? Go through YouTube's system. And I do think they understood that YouTube tells you to contact them. Because it's not their problem. It's like YouTube is like, you have to talk to them. So that's what we're trying to tell them. And like, it's like talking to a fucking wall because they're like, they just don't get it. They're like, I don't think they understand
Not
YouTube's
only do
system
they not
very
get
well.
it, but it's frustrating because they don't care to understand it.
Yeah, they don't care to understand. They don't get it because they've got their result, which is the video down. And then, after like every, like it's like 10 emails back and forth. Like I think Maylene even called them up and like, they just kind of like shrugged it off. So just nothing's happening. So in the email, we write saying, hey, well, I hate to like say this, but we're probably gonna have to re-upload the video, which I am doing. And we're probably gonna have to explain in that video why it's been taken down, which may make you look bad. And they were like, immediately responded with like, how dare you try and blackmail us? we will not, like, it was like, we will not entertain nor give in to blackmail. I'm like, what are you, the US government dealing with terrorists?
We will not negotiate with terrorists.
That was literally the vibe of this email. It was so funny. It was so.
We will not take this slander.
They went full fucking Karen mode, man. They're like, I am the victim. Actually, how dare you come to my house and you threaten me?
That's literally the full 180. We will never give in. We will never give in. And, okay, actually, guess which country this company's from. I think it'll make so much sense.
I don't know.
Just take a guess. What country do you think is super strict with rules?
Like,
top of your head.
I would think in some kind of Asian country.
No.
But really?
European.
Russia?
No, Germany.
Oh, okay.
We're following the rules.
Yeah. That makes sense, yeah. And
I tried so many routes, like trying to get this done through YouTube. Like I have even the company saying like, hey, they don't care that, like, they are totally fine with me getting the stuff removed from the video and re-uploading it, but they just don't want to do that. They don't want to remove the strike. And so I asked Fiverr, I said, hey, Fiverr, I know that like I did use that footage and it's up in the air and if it's fair use or not, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. Fiverr, like, even though I was critical of them in that video, I did say that I think it's wrong that Fiverr takes a bit of the tips, which I don't think they should do.
Right.
And they also charge 20% on everything.
Yeah.
And Fiverr actually reached out on my behalf to the company and asked, hey, we know this is like a problem, but hey, could you please put the video back up?
Oh, so Fiverr had your back.
Fiverr backed me up.
Oh, nice.
You know what they told Fiverr?
What?
They said to Fiverr, we want to keep the strike on his channel because he tried to blackmail us. That's what they told Fiverr. No joke. That's what they told.
Oh my god.
This company was just so petty the whole way through. It was so tragic. And so now I'm just re-uploading the video and just explaining.
So do you still have a strike?
Still have the strike, unfortunately. They won't remove it.
But at least you're gonna slightly call them out, right, in the new video.
Yeah. I mean,
you're probably not gonna say them by name, but still.
No, I mean, it's if you look through the video, you can see the name of the company. It's there.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I don't know because the way I've been conditioned as the way I was taught as a kid was to get problems resolved. It's polite, to ask politely and, to resolve conflicts in a adult manner.
Yeah, be civil about it.
Yeah, be civil about it. But the more I'm on the internet and the more, especially as a YouTuber, it's just I've realized that to get problems solved and to get shit done is it goes against everything I was taught.
The best way to get shit resolved is to just go out into the public and go, fuck you!
it's so true though, right? Because we've been conditioned now to get a problem resolved is to make as much fucking noise as possible.
I'm gonna give you a new target to go after.
Yeah.
Sick him.
Yeah. Well, it's unfortunate because I always as a last resort tweet about it or make it a public issue because I just don't like it. I think it's really
because there's a part of you that makes you look bad, right?
Yeah, I feel like an arsehole being yo, but I got this following, I'm gonna set the dogs on this one. Release the hounds. But it feels like that's the only way to get things done, especially when it's I love the fact that the official way to get problems resolved on YouTube is just to fucking @team YouTube on Twitter and just get people to retweet that instead of having a proper chain of communication. No, you just got to make as much fucking noise on Twitter as possible.
It's not a last resort to @team YouTube. It's just a requirement.
Yeah. If it's a YouTube problem, I'll @team YouTube. But this shit was kind of that company, and honestly, their social media, I found their social medias and everything, they're really small. If I wanted to make them known that it was I could have tweeted out and be like, hey guys, go and fucking spam the social media asking to remove the strike. I don't know. I just didn't want to do that.
You don't want to use your power for that kind of stuff, right?
But it's sad as well because I could do that, and that would be I guess abusing my power, right?
Yeah.
I guess. But then also the only reason they aren't taking me seriously is because I'm an individual.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's unfair because they're a company and they think that I'm just a fly and that they can just swap me away every time, which they just kept doing. And at any point I could have just made the thing is, right, is that you don't want to say it, but if people search for the company's name, you could easily make it so that the stuff that comes up is pretty bad for them. Could have easily have done that, but I'm not going to because I'm not an asshole.
Yeah, you might be a flyer, but you're a flyer that's about 6 feet long. Right? It's going to be a little hard to swat you away.
And it's such a thing because it's man, I really want to abuse my power right now. I really want to I really want to abuse my power right now to make your life hell because you guys have been absolute assholes.
Cigar in one hand. Let's get them.
Yeah, it's trying to find the right balance between I got my integrity, I want to be a good person, but at the same time it's just the world is making it super fucking hard sometimes, and it fucking sucks that it's this way. But
I mean, it's just that war between the traditionalist way of doing things and then the new age things of doing that, right? Because even if YouTube right now is such a massive thing worldwide, technically speaking, it's only been around for 15 years?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's just the age of social media now, where people, it is all about making as much noise as possible, even if you are someone very much in the wrong and your logic is fucked. Somehow, some people are able to make more noise than the other person, therefore they are the right ones, and they win in the end. And it's just it's a very, I would say, backwards way, but it's just the way the world is now, unfortunately.
I think the hands that we've been dealt, unfortunately, with YouTube's system, it's really sad that it only ever gives any benefit to the claimant. So it's you kind of don't really have a choice. And it sucks because people who don't want to do it, I mean, I don't want to do it. I don't want to make a fuss about it on Twitter. And I might have been able to get it resolved if I just made it hell for them. If I just, bombed their social medias. But might have worked. But did I want to find out, and would I have felt good about it? Probably not.
You don't want to resort to that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Because the thing about, especially with YouTube copyright, is that there's just been everything that's been mentioned and everything that people say is all fucking guesswork. Because the thing is, there is no precedence because the highest level this can go up to is like
Supreme Court.
It's like court, right? And that's only happened once between one creator and one creator, which is like H3H3, right?
Yeah.
And that's been the only precedence about anything regarding YouTube copyright. That we've never had an individual go up against a company. So nobody knows how that's going to end up, really.
Right.
You know?
I think because the company doesn't really want that because it would look bad for them.
And no individual wants to be the test.
Exactly right.
That,
Nobody wants to be the first.
Do you really want to be that company picking on a singular dude and then that dude also rally the internet behind him? Like, you probably don't want that. Like, it's not. You might win it, but everyone will think you're an asshole.
That's in that situation, kind of everyone loses.
Yeah,
like there is no single winner at that point.
No.
Maybe the creator can come out of it if he's willing to go through it. Like the creator might come out with a lot of respect. And might get a lot of community support, and it could be worth it, but it's such a big gamble.
Right? It could also completely go the other way around.
It could also completely just ruin your life.
Yeah, it could bankrupt you.
Well, it could not only bankrupt that individual, but it could also leave an example for other companies to start abusing that, right?
Exactly.
It's like, oh well, they lost in the court case, so let's go out and just fucking snipe down all these individual creators.
Yeah, because fucking nobody understands. Nobody fucking understands the law anyway. You know, so we none of us really understand fair use laws. How the fuck are the fucking jury gonna understand fair use laws? You know what I mean?
It's like, so what? You used an anime girl in your video, and this company owns said anime girl, but doesn't actually own it.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, Your Honor.
Jeez, and it's a mess given how worldwide YouTube is. Like, how do you sue someone that's in like a different country with different laws?
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, what if none of you are American company? Which laws are you using? Are you using YouTube laws?
Well, that's the problem, right? Is that like
I'm not an expert, so I'd love to know.
And I think that's why, like, at least the majority of anime YouTubers who have been caught using anime footage in their videos have managed to get away with it, because in Japan we don't have fair use laws, but in America, where YouTube is hosting, we do have fair use laws.
Yeah.
So it just never happens. The Japanese look at that and we're like, oh shit, well, I guess we got to back away now.
It's probably not worth their time either to, try and figure out who if they can do it.
Yeah,
right?
and it is an unfair system because it really just fucks over any of the small creators.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like if you're a small creator, the best strategy you can go for is be friends like a bigger creator. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you're ever in any trouble, then you got to rely on them to like make noise for you, because you can't do it for yourself. And I can't really think of a better way to go about it aside from that.
Except just fucking giving up. There's literally no other way of going around that, right? Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, 'cause even like creator of our sizes, it's still difficult to get things fixed. I think the only creators like that I can think of that would be like able to get shit done is like maybe like Mr. Beast, because he's like obviously if YouTube's really friendly with you, they'll help you out. Like, they'll figure out a way to make it like go away.
Right. Yeah. But it's like one out of how many million channels?
That's the thing, right? There's like maybe like 100. I bet no more than 100 of those people who can have that kind of power.
Yeah.
Because even we're like big creators, I guess.
I mean, we're big creators in the anime field, but in the overall fucking scheme of things, we're just a fucking.
We're still decently sized though. Like,
but I think in 2020, like beginning of 2020, like rough estimate, there's I think over 10,000 channels now with over 1 million subs.
Wow.
So it's we're definitely not we're definitely expanding more.
But you'd still think that the ad revenue that you're maybe bringing in, is more than like a Google employee, so it might be worth.
Right, but how many Google employees are there?
True. I guess that's tough.
At the end of the day, yes, we may be big in our separate fields, and maybe compared to other like smaller creators or people who don't do stuff. But in a bigger sense, the ceiling is very, very high.
It should be nice because they take 45% of your ad revenue. It'd be nice to know that they give a fuck about it. Not just host the videos.
Yeah. I mean, they're big enough where like they can't care about. They don't like 1 million 1 million subscribers. That's like nothing.
True. Yeah, I guess they only care about the creators that can actually affect their reputation, which I guess are the super big ones. It's unfortunate.
0.001%, right?
Yeah. Because I mean, I get it when like you see on Twitter there'll be a dude with like 20 subs who's like, man, YouTube's so unfair to the small guys, and it's like, I mean, come on, you have 20 subs, I mean, you don't really like have much to lose. Like I know, like you shouldn't be discriminating against sizes, but also I think there should be a prioritize on people who are living off it and that use the system throughout.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I feel sorry for YouTube at the same time as well, because I'm like
can't win.
As I'm thinking about this from like their perspective, and like how do you solve every problem that you have on YouTube? Because YouTube right now is too fucking large. There's too much content to be able to know what everyone is doing and everything being uploaded. Like it feels like it's just an impossible puzzle to solve. You jiggle around one thing and then like another piece pops out. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like. Where I feel like they are doing the best that they can, and I feel like as creators, we all like are very grateful to YouTube. But the sucky thing is that if we have a problem with YouTube, we have to make them look like the fucking devil. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas my personal opinion is that I know YouTube's doing the best they can. I know there's like some massive problems that happen with, you know, some people getting banned or some people getting demonetized by like accidents and everything, and it can affect livelihood. But I look at this also from like the perspective of, hey, this platform is just fucking massive. It's gonna be impossible to solve every problem with a bot, but that's what they need to do. They need to have a bot because you can't have actual humans looking over everything that's being uploaded.
Yeah, because hasn't YouTube like in terms of like stuff that Google owns, hasn't YouTube been in the red for like the past like 4 years or something? YouTube's constantly losing money for Google.
I mean, it's not the value of making money, it's the amount of information that YouTube brings Google is like priceless.
Oh yeah. It's like what, 50 hours of content uploaded every minute or second, I think, to YouTube.
Way more than that.
I think it's more than that.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's insane, yeah. But no, it's scary, but I guess like that comes with the price of it being just a brand new type of entertainment, right? I'm sure radio and TV had probably the exact same problems when it first started to rise, and it's only after decades and decades of trial and error that they've kind of smoothed it out.
I mean, what I find funny is that when YouTube first started to get super commercialized, right, and people started having all these problems with copyright and a lot of people taking advantage of the system, people were like, well, this is a fucking dying platform. Let's go over to Twitch, everyone. Yeah. And then now that Twitch is like starting to like burst into the mainstream, we're now seeing like the same problems affect Twitch creators now. And everyone's like, man, Twitch is getting so hard now.
Twitch is getting axed like even harder.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the new DMCA laws are bloody ridiculous on Twitch now.
Yeah.
And it was like the one thing that Twitch was like, oh, thank God, we don't have to worry about playing copyrighted stuff on our Twitch anymore. And then Twitch was like, Amazon kind of stepped in, was like, yeah, about that.
I mean, it's more like the music industry has just been like stuck in its ways for like the past like 30 years.
Which is weird though, because like websites like Newgrounds to this day you can use copyrighted music. And they won't do anything about it.
That's because no one owns Newgrounds. Newgrounds is like still privately owned.
Right, but the thing is like even when it was in its prime, like the music industry never stepped in and tried to do something about it. They were just like, well,
because the money wasn't there. Like when the live streaming, they see all these like $1 billion buyouts. Like that's why seeing the music industry like hello.
Basically, I feel like it's just the content cycle. Like everyone tries to find this new platform where we talked about the golden age of the internet before, where things were like less regulated and everything. But as soon as something does get popular enough, it's just an inevitability that companies are just going to want to get in on it, and it's going to be more regulated, and you're going to have content creators are just going to have less freedom. It's the unfortunate truth of the internet, and it's the unfortunate truth of media.
Big sad. I hate capitalism. Down with capitalism.
But should we get into some of our favorite YouTube channels or just channels we like watching?
Yeah. Because I feel like we all watch very different YouTubers, or I guess I don't know. I mean, we established like before that like the amount of YouTube the three of us watch is probably quite different, right?
So like, okay, here's my first question to you guys. What do you guys look for in a content creator? If anything, because I'm the type of guy, people like whenever I get asked like who my favorite YouTubers are, like especially in conventions and panels and everything, everyone expects me to like say anime YouTubers.
My favorite anime
right? And like, because it's my job, like I try to make it like I try to watch the least amount of anime content as I can, because I don't want to. One, like it's my job. I can't view anime content in the same way ever again. And two, I don't want it to affect my own content. You know what I mean?
So many of them suck. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but I totally agree. Like, you know, it's like my YouTube viewing time is my off time.
Exactly.
I just maximize with YouTube, man. Every single moment of my life, I'm watching YouTube.
So I don't do that.
Do you watch AniTubers though? Like
a few,
AniTubers who like you don't know personally. Like I obviously watch your guys' content, like people I'm personally friends with, but I very rarely watch AniTubers who I don't personally know.
There's some I like, but I feel like they're not quite there yet. Like they're still figuring out their style. So
because they're new, or
because they're new.
Right.
Yeah.
But I find enjoyment in watching the new channels kind of like figure out their own way and like seeing their growth.
I mean, some of my favorite channels on YouTube are the tiny ones where they've only got like update videos. Like,
I love those. I love those. Where they have more update videos than actual content.
Yeah.
I would name one or two, but I'm also worried that
I don't want to bully them.
I'm also worried that they'll get like 10,000 new viewers and they won't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
But
you know the ones we're talking about. They're out there. They're out there.
But like, okay, I mean, like obvious channels that we all like and enjoy, just like Internet Historian. Everyone fucking loves Internet Historian, right? Like, I mean, like, what else? What else?
Come onto the podcast, Internet Historian.
Yeah. Nakey Jakey is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I remember Nakey, because I discovered him. You know when you discover a creator who's under 100,000 subs, and you're like, you're gonna blow up. Yeah. That was Nakey Jakey for me, because I discovered him before he even did his fucking green screen effects, and he was just basically like a mix between Donkey and Jontron. And he was just like, he didn't show his face; it was just pure voiceover. But he was someone who I discovered really early on, and I could tell immediately.
Personality was shining through.
Yes, his personality was shining through, and he was going to blow up eventually. And then he did like the first video where I thought he was going to blow up he did a video about like video game dogs, which was like so different from what like other people were doing.
Right.
But it was just so unique, and I was like, that's it. That's your niche. You found it.
I just love his like flow of comedy. Like there are some videos where it's like like one of my favorite videos to this day is the one where he talks about water levels in gaming.
Yeah.
And it's such a short video. It's like 6 minutes long, but it's just constant jokes with like no room for error whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I just love videos like that where it's like cut all the bullshit filler out, just say the punchline and then immediately move on. Like that's the type of comedy I strive to do in my thing as well.
Like I feel like everyone thinks of him as just like the guy who has a green screen and sits on the ball, but like as someone who's been following him for ages, he can do any kind of content and it'd still be fucking great.
I mean, you do a lot of writing, right? So I mean, I assume you think his writing's also pretty spot on as well.
I think his writing is fucking brilliant.
I think it's brilliant.
It is really hard, and even I'm still trying to learn this to try and balance like analytical, like your thoughts and analytics to comedy. And like it's like I've seen so many creators, and I feel like even I might be one of them who like sometimes it's like, okay, this part is analytical and this part is comedy. But like to combine the two together seamlessly is a fucking difficult thing to do.
And to make it look natural as well is really hard. This episode is sponsored by ExpressVPN.
Woo! ExpressVPN, baby!
Okay, Egon, but I understand you're happy because it's December. It's the Christmas spirit time, which I have plenty of.
Is it the big D?
It's the big what? Which means we can officially start watching Christmas movies!
Yay!
Which you know that I love. I love them. But what if you go to Netflix, Joey, this horror situation, and you discover that your favorite Christmas movie isn't available?
Then I will cry and scream until I get it.
I guess I just can't get it, bro.
Yeah, I guess I just have to give up on the Christmas spirit.
I guess I just get depression for Christmas.
That's what would happen. But get ready to have your mind blown. You can use, in bold, ExpressVPN to watch any Netflix library in the world.
Are you telling me that ExpressVPN are saving Christmas?
They are saving Christmas. And this weekend, I used ExpressVPN to stream a Christmas classic, Elf, on German Netflix.
Now, I know that's your favorite Christmas movie.
That is your favorite time.
That is
everyone's favorite Christmas
movie. Very fond of Elf. It was so simple. I just opened the app, hit one button to change my location, refresh Netflix, and that's it. That's it.
So easy.
See, ExpressVPN lets you control where you want the sites to think you're located. You can choose from almost 100 countries.
Oh my God.
Just imagine how many Netflix libraries there is, man.
100
That's 100 libraries.
That's over 5.
Oh my God.
And of course, it's not just Netflix. ExpressVPN works with any streaming service. Disney Plus, Hulu, BBC iPlayer, you name it. Name it. Come on, name it. I'm waiting.
Let's be honest. Joey can't name it. But let's also be honest again. There are hundreds of VPNs out there, but the reason I use ExpressVPN to watch movies and shows is because it's ridiculously fast. There's never any buffering, gentlemen, and you can always stream in HD.
ExpressVPN works on all your devices too, including phones, tablet, media consoles, smart TVs, your fridge, I don't fucking know. So you can use to watch it on whatever you want or on the go on the big screen.
Big brain move when you use ExpressVPN on your fridge.
One day, man, one day.
They'll never know where that cheese is.
On my Fitbit.
Disclaimer, ExpressVPN does not work on your fridge.
If you visit the special link right now, expressvpn.com/trashtaste, you can get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. So support the show, watch what you want, and get your holiday fix at expressvpn.com/trashtaste.
Woo! ExpressVPN!
Links in the description. Thank you to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video. Back to the show. I think one thing I respect the most out of Naked Jakey's writing, and like Naked Jakey is definitely not the only one who does this, but I think it's the type of content creator that I especially like and inspire to be myself, is the people who write scripts. Like, they're clearly scripts, but they write it and perform it in a way that doesn't make it look like they're reading off a script. Like, you know, Naked Jakey is obviously a great example of that. I mean, I think the whole reason why JonTron as well blew up is because of that, right? He's managed to, like, as you said, like, mix the whole analytical side with the joke side just so seamlessly. And, you know, like, if we're talking YouTubers as well, like, a Demo was a perfect example of that, right? Like,
I mean, Demo kind of just like started as like a new wave of like anime YouTube content, and his style still prevails today in a lot of people's content.
Right.
Like,
I mean, I certainly like look up to that guy's writing.
I think pretty much every big YouTuber does in some way, shape, or form.
But we're like not even like 10% of the way to being as funny as him, right? it's like we're trying really hard, but we can't quite.
It's like how, like, because you can copy someone's style, but you can never be that person,
right?
Because like that's kind of like the hard thing about being an independent content creator, is that you can be influenced by someone, but if you're influenced by them a bit too much, then everyone's going to be like, you were trying to be
you're just
X
a clone,
person. And like, if you're trying to be X person, then in the viewer's mind, all they are going to see is you trying to be X person. Right. You know what I mean?
I mean, it was that problem, right, of back in the day whenever anyone tried to do any Let's Play, and it doesn't matter if you were like nowhere similar to him, everyone was like, wow, this guy's just a PewDiePie clone, isn't he? You're just a Markiplier clone. And I'm just like, I got those comments. Like, when I first started doing Corpse Party, people were like, oh, this guy looks and sounds like PewDiePie. I'm like, okay, I get the sounds part. How the fuck do I look like Felix?
How do you sound like Felix? What the fuck?
I don't know. Apparently, I can do Felix impressions, but like, it's not like I was trying to do them actively, right? Because surprise, Felix wasn't the only Let's Player that was around back then and who I watched. But
Speaking of, go on.
Oh no.
Oh, speaking about Naked Jakey, have you guys watched Scott the Woz? You guys seen him?
I've seen a few of his videos.
I've seen a few of his videos,
but I'm not subscribed.
I fucking love Scott. I love you, Scott. Because he's like the opposite of Naked Jakey almost, where Naked Jakey tries on purpose to not feel like a script, where Scott feels so incredibly scripted that it makes it almost funnier.
Right.
And like, I don't know, he's just so extremely consistent, and he uploads sometimes like twice a week, and it's always such fucking good quality.
Right.
So good. And I don't know. I feel like, because I was one point as well, JonTron had not uploaded for so long that they turned JonTron subreddit into Scott the Woz.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Because he didn't upload for so long. Because everyone would say that Scott the Woz was like JonTron, but more consistent.
Right.
But it's still very different styles of humor. And I remember as well, he's like so anal about like keeping the same level of consistency that he re-uploaded the whole video once because he accidentally didn't didn't censor a swear word in one of his uploads.
God damn, man, that is commitment.
And he just seems like such a chill dude, but also hella awkward because there's clips of him in conventions and he looks so awkward. But like, it's like the kind of energy that I'm like, man, that's so honest, and you can just tell he like loves what he's doing.
That's the type of genuine like YouTube.
Have you ever watched any of his videos?
I feel like I've definitely seen at least a couple of his videos come up on recommended, but
I definitely have.
Might not be for like everyone, but I think you can always watch it and enjoy it. But you might not go away being like, I fucking love this guy. But you'll definitely enjoy it 100%.
Yeah.
He's really good.
He's definitely on my list of people. Like, if every time he's on my recommended, I'm just like, I'll give you a go.
It also makes me wonder, how specific of a subject about gaming can you talk about? Like, he did memory cards the other day. He did a whole like 30-minute video on memory cards.
Right.
I was like, I don't even know what he talked about. I can't remember, but I enjoyed it. But I just remember thinking this video is totally pointless about.
There's another channel that's like that, which really? I think you showed me this, Connor, but Ahoy.
I was
Ahoy?
literally about like
Yeah.
when Connor mentioned it, I was like ahoy.
Yeah,
ahoy.
I was like, there's another channel that covers super niche and specific topics.
I, for the
in
longest
gaming.
time, thought it was some like film studio that hired like the sexiest narrator ever.
Yeah.
But I think it's legit the narrator
No,
guy.
I think it's just
one
narrative.
dude, yeah.
Yeah. So to explain Ahoy, he does like video game documentaries
Insane
on
quality.
really niche like subjects. I think one of my favorite ones was he went through like the entire history of exploding barrels.
That was
in, like,
such a good video.
games. And it's something. It's one of those subjects where you never thought about it until someone brought it up. Like, why is it that when you see a barrel in a video game, you just expect it to explode, right? It's just something that you've just been conditioned to know.
Yeah,
but then you think about it and you're like, yeah, what is the history behind that? You know?
He's also like, I'm looking at his channel now. He's also like the antithesis of clickbait. Like, because do you know what his video on explosive barrels is called?
Just barrels, right?
Explosive barrels with a period at the end.
I also genuinely don't think there's only maybe one or two people I can think that have like the same level of production quality as him.
Oh,
like
yeah.
The production quality of this man's videos are insane.
He's up with, we've mentioned before, but like Lemino.
Yeah,
like
Lemino,
that's kind of like the insane kind of production qualities where you're like, this guy uploads one every 3 months, and I know why you upload one
It's
every 3
legit
months.
like box levels of
Oh,
editing.
Definitely.
He
Fucking
also
amazing.
did a video on like what was the first video game ever. That's a really
My
that's a
favorite
really
one
good
as
one
well
as
is
well.
like, where does the history of like chickens, like
Yes.
healing you come from? And it's just great. Like, it's really weird. Like, there are just some YouTubers I feel that can just take these extremely niche topics and just somehow able to turn it into a video that you never thought you needed, but then the moment you watch it, you're like, all right, I kind of needed this video.
As I was going through my list, I did realize what like really appealed to me, and it was like more so the human aspect than personality. Because do you know NoClip by any chance?
No.
They do video game documentaries that are really, really well produced about like game development, and it's really, really just insane production, great stuff. But half the time, I end up like just not really caring because I feel like there's like no like human aspect to it or a personality injected in the video. It just feels like a documentary, which is great and it's amazing. Don't get me wrong, but something like Ahoy, where it feels so passionate from like one person, and so many other channels that were mentioned today.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this before about like how to be successful on YouTube, and I feel like having that human connection and having a personality, even if you are doing like a sort of documentary thing, inserting your own passion and your own personality into it as much as possible is the real like selling point of why people will want to come back to you. I mean, and I feel like that's why like I remember when YouTube went through this whole video essay boom.
Oh yeah,
and now I think it's like kind of it's starting to die down, you know,
especially on Anitube as well.
I remember when like Every Frame of Painting like came along and started doing video essays and
rest
like
in peace, man. That was one of the best fucking channels. I swear. Oh my god.
And like Nerdwriter and everything came along, and like we had this like video essay boom, and now people like they don't care so much about the analytical side of things. They care more about the personality behind it. Right. You know what I mean?
They care about the person telling the narrative, right?
Because why should I listen to like some random person's like college thesis where there are like actual experts on the platform now? Which brings me to like my my next creator, which is a video essay channel, because they did a video essay on was it Shazam? What was that superhero movie?
Oh, Shazam.
Shazam. Yeah, they were doing a video essay on Shazam. He's called Pony Smasher.
I've never heard of this channel.
And he was doing a video essay on Shazam, but like breaking down how hard it is to like the little problems that need to be solved when making a movie, right? And I was just like, oh, it's just another video essay. And then he starts using like a first person perspective. Like, yeah, so what I had to do was I had to do this, I had to do that on this movie. And I was like, wait a minute, this is the director of Shazam making a video essay on his own movie. Wow. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
That's cool.
Yeah. It was the director of Shazam making a video essay on his own platform. And I remember like how he ends the video is he says, yeah, there was a point where I was just, you know, super obsessed with YouTube video essays. And then I started making movies, and now like he views video essays completely different, because he admitted himself as someone who like has made movies, like he doesn't know whether like, you know, you can break down the movie's themes and like all the back end of something with the movie, but like he was like, yeah, sometimes it's just like a complete accident. You know, you know what I mean?
It's just happy little accidents.
Yeah. Sometimes he's just like, did I mean to like, was there any meaning behind making this curtain blue or something like that? And sometimes it's just the only curtain that was fucking available.
I just like the color. That's all.
You know. So cool. And like hearing it from him after I saw that video, I was just like, yeah, he's kind of got a point. You know, when you've got actual fucking directors making video essays on your own movie, how can other people kind of compete with that at that point?
That's the point I want to get to, where like eventually if I ever make my own anime or my own manga and I just make a video essay on my own show, that'll be the ultimate flex.
Exactly.
Like, so I know exactly why they decided to use these themes, because I fucking made them. That's why.
Ambitious goals, Joey. Ambitious goals.
The most primary of sources that you could ever get.
That also going on the complete opposite of that, which is experts in the field. My new worst fucking pet peeve on YouTube is seeing videos of, I've mentioned this to you guys in private, but there's this new like thing on YouTube where like things that shouldn't be a qualification that are a qualification like reacts to something. I've noticed, and these things will not stop leaving my recommender, where it's like Japanese person reacts to every Chris Abroad video. And I'm like, I don't care. That is not impressive that a Japanese person watches.
The recent one I saw that would not leave my recommended is Japanese person reacts to Bill Wirtz's history of Japan.
I was like, you want like, this should not be a qualification. I get it. Like there's like what was the other ones? Like doctor reacts to doctor.
Okay, to be fair,
that's fair.
Some because that's like an actual qualification. That's a job.
You were just born in a country, bro. What do you mean? It's not like you were born in like Machu Picchu talking about the ruins of some shit. That's tiny. Like
my favorite ones as well as like the music related ones. So it's like I remember I saw one which was like jazz drummer reacts to Tool live concert. I'm like, but Tool is a metal band. It's like, you don't know anything about metal. Like, it's like you play in the, it's like, oh yeah, the other one is like a church drummer reacts to whatever. And I'm like, you play at your local church. Like, it's not like, you're not even a professional. You just play in your local church.
Can someone please make a YouTube channel out there? Like high school student reacts to high school. Like, can we, because I just want this to go full meme now. Like, because it's getting ridiculous. Like I saw, like there was like a mathematician one. And in the video, it was like mathematician reacts to, and I click on the video and it's a guy and it's just a college student. Studying maths, and I'm like, what?
I actually wanted to make a parody of like that video series, which is like professional degenerate reacts to hentai.
You should totally do that.
I gotta make it now.
You gotta make that before it gets taken.
Some people saw the lawyer things. Obviously, were like, hey, I'm a specialized Japanese person. I can react to. I just I'm like, no, like not bashing on any channels that do it. I just think it's really like weird and like not weird, like unnecessary.
It's kind of like, okay, there's this trend that makes sense, right? You have a professional qualified person who, you know, has been doing this job for years, like a lawyer or a doctor, and can actually provide insights. And then as with everything, as with every YouTube trend, it kind of, people like try to bend it as much as possible to be like, yeah, I'm kind of like, I have a qualification in X, kind of, you know. It's you know when you're like in that job interview and you like try to buff up your fucking CV, which is with as much bullshit as you can possibly imagine. That's kind of what it feels like, you know.
So have you ever had any past jobs? Well, I used to have to take out the trash every week at my parents' place. Like, that was kind of like an obligation.
Like I remember like back in the Abridge scene where people were just like, yeah, I do sound design, you know, you know, and I'm like, motherfucker, I know what the fuck you do. You
talking into a Blue Yeti is not sound design. I'm sorry. Oh, dude, like if there are any smaller YouTubers watching, here's an idea for you. Like, react to anything, but just call yourself aspiring entrepreneur reacts to. You'll get clicks like that. That's free real estate. It's for you. Okay, but to be fair though, the only, like we mentioned this earlier, but like the doctor reacts to cells at work. Like,
that one's good.
That shit was fucking great.
No, like when this trend started, I was like, I was all for this.
Yeah, you know? Like that. I don't often watch reaction videos, but I watched all of those because just the dude was charismatic as fuck. I forgot the name. It was like Dr. It's not British
Phil guy, right?
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
I think my favorite one is that guy who breaks down accents and reacts.
He's so good. The Wired guy.
The guy on Wired. Yeah.
I mean, that's the. I love
Eric Singer. I think his name.
Yeah. I love those videos so much. I basically ripped off.
Yeah, you ripped it off. Yeah.
I mean, they were. I mean, I was like, oh man, this is fun. I can explain this.
Not gonna lie, when I saw that on my sub feed, I was like, "Fuck, that's a good idea."
Yeah.
I wish I did that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, why not, man? I've been doing
I was actually gonna do something similar. I was gonna gonna do. I was gonna name myself Japanese expert, and I was gonna react to like foreigners in films doing Japanese accents or speaking in Japanese.
Right.
And like, I might still do that, but like,
are you a qualified Japanese person?
You weren't born and raised here, Joey. I mean, I don't know.
I have a certificate though.
How many years experience do you have being Japanese, Joey?
Only 26 years, you know?
The amount of videos I have seen that is Japanese person react to Filthy Frank is like way too many.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many. It's like, this should not be necessary. Like, it's just a Japanese dude.
It's like, it's like, who cares?
And also, you probably won't get like a really authentic, because most of the time, the Japanese people that are doing it in English. So they're like, you know, I mean, I'm not going to lie, but the foreigners that I've spoken to, the Japanese people that I've spoken to that studied abroad are very different to the Japanese people who are very Japanese.
I love how half the videos as well, it's like Japanese reacts to Filthy Frank, and it's just an American-born Japanese guy, right? It's like, you're an American, dude. Like, you're not even Japanese.
That's an interesting point, actually. I would actually like, that's interesting content. Like, say you take a video and actually sub it and then show it to a Japanese person subbed and see how they react to it. That would be interesting, I think.
Yeah, that would be interesting, but the problem is no one can be fucked to do that, right? It's just too much effort. Yeah.
What other YouTubers do you guys enjoy watching?
Well, I have a YouTuber who is up and coming. I found him fucking, like, maybe when he had like less than 10k subs. But he's this guy called John Stone.
Okay.
And he's a Pokemon YouTuber.
Okay.
Because I love him in my Pokemon. Yeah. But like, unlike every other Pokemon YouTuber out there, he kind of takes Pokemon challenges and kind of goes,
is this the guy
way overboard?
Is the guy who beat like the whole game with like a Ditto or something? Or like,
no, that's Pika Spray.
Okay.
That's another guy who I also follow. But yeah, so John Stone is this guy who does these like absurd Pokemon challenges and just condenses them into like one video. So like a Small Ant, right, is a guy who also does similar things. He's a massive Twitch streamer, but John Stone kind of like, he does these like ridiculous challenges like, can I beat the entirety of Pokemon Fire Red with just one badge and shit like that. And like, he not only puts his own personality into it, but like kind of breaks down how to do it as well. So if people want to do it, then they can. And I think it's only recently that, like, you know, we were talking about people who make content which is like very informational, but then try and put their own personality into it. I feel like he's a guy who's like just starting to learn how to do that. And he's kind of growing off of it. And it's been really cool to like watch him grow.
There's a few channels like that, because I watch, is it Game Champ 3000? I think I have written down here. He does like the beating like X game without collecting a coin or something.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know why he would do that, because like it sounds like pain. And
Small Ant does that too. I recently watched him do. It's like, can I beat Pokemon Fire Red with only shinies? So what he would do is like he would do this all live on Twitch and then just make a video on YouTube. So like every time like the starters would come up, and if none of them are shiny, he'd just reset the game. And he'd keep going until the starter was a shiny.
God. That's like speedrunners like. Kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Dedication.
Yeah. Or another one was like, can I beat all of Pokemon Emerald without taking damage?
Oh my god!
And every time he took damage, he had to reset.
I think I saw that. I think I've seen that one. That one sounds familiar.
It went quite viral, I think.
I think I've seen a few like videos like that where it's like no damage Dark Souls runs. Those are always like a fucking trip to watch, man.
I mean, I love watching those kinds of content because I think I've just gotten so into like speed running and like just people who are just way too good at games for their own good.
There's a fair amount of speedrunning dedicated channels. Just think of none of them are quite nearly as level of obviously Summoning Soul, which everyone loves.
Oh, Summoning Soul.
I feel like it's Summoning Soul and then kind of everyone else. And
not to be rude to everyone else, but he's just definitely like doing something that's clearly appealing to everyone, not just.
I feel like what he does so well is that he just knows kind of like how to present a story. Yeah. Because it's like, okay, like he's one of the few channels where I'm like, I don't really know his personality, right? But the stories that he picks to present on his channel are like a banger every time. Because like if you don't have a personality in your channel, then that puts pressure to make the subject you are presenting has to carry your video, right? And it's normally easier to have a nice, interesting personality that people want to come back to. But if you're someone like Summoning Soul, who for some reason knows how to present the most compelling speedrunning stories every fucking time.
It's like watching a movie, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
His recent one with the perfect Mario 64 one
was
so good.
That was so good.
I also really love his, which one was it? The Ninja Gaiden one?
The
cowboy dude. I love that guy. And he's so nice, and it made for such a good good story.
And so cool as well because like I found so many cool speedrunners because of his videos
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well. Just because the way he kind of sells them and also just kind of lays out their entire journey is just like I don't know what it is, right? Because it's like, truth be told, he's not the most charismatic or like, you know, interesting presenter, but he just manages to write and present and kind of tell a story in a way that you just have to watch.
Because it's like there's always the hook. There's always it almost follows like the structure of a movie. You know what I mean? There's the hook, there's the beginning, the middle, of the end, and the end's always like a really big climax that you're like, wow, this was worth sitting through like 45 minutes to an hour watching just so I could have seen this climax and get invested into the story, man.
It's like I'm glad I sat through 45 minutes to know that cowboy dude got a sub 10 in Ninja Gaiden. Exactly. Right? I'm so glad his efforts got paid off, man. That's so worth it. Can get a clap. Like everybody applause.
You try to explain his content to someone who just knows nothing about speedrunning. Yeah. And it's just like, why do you care so much about like...
It's like
because he tried his best, man.
It's one of those things where it's like, just watch. Like, I think, again, this is why I love documentaries and all that, because I just love the human aspect of stories and the, I guess... You know, almost human life is more interesting because weird shit happens that you couldn't even predict.
Yeah.
I think it's so interesting. And obviously, like, I also think that Summoning Salt is really similar to Frederick Knudsen, which is like my
Down the Rabbit Hole?
Yeah, Down the Rabbit Hole, which is like literally like my favorite channel on YouTube.
I still haven't seen his new one yet.
No, I haven't seen his
I just
new one
think
either.
the sheer amount of like dedication to the story and getting all the facts there is just insane. And like, I think every time I get drunk, I watch that Wings of Redemption.
That's the
video.
problem with Knudsen though, is that like every time he does upload a video, it's like a yay moment as well as a oh shit moment, because it's a yay moment because he uploads like once every 3 months or something, but it's an oh shit moment because it's like, oh, okay, what day in my calendar is free to watch this video?
You know, there are some content creators that you just watch immediately. Yeah. And there's some content creators where you make a mental note, you're like, they uploaded, and you're like, okay, I gotta find time.
Like Right Opinion is the exact same thing, right? Like every time he uploads, it's like, oh, it's another 2-hour video by Right Opinion. It's gonna be a banger, but man, I'm not free for like 3 days.
God, I have so much respect for Right Opinion because normally, like, I fucking like I can't stand commentary channels most of the time.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the biggest free for all. It's like I don't know why some people are so fucking loud, and I don't know why some people listen to other people. It's just
it's almost always biased, right?
Yeah, it's so biased. It's always a fucking mess. But dude, if Right Opinion makes a video about you, I'm fucking listening.
I mean, I was in one of his videos.
yeah, exactly.
Joey.
Yeah, I was in one of his videos. Thanks for that, by the way.
Like, if I get destroyed by Right Opinion, I'm like, yeah, okay, I did something wrong. My bad.
But that's the thing, right? It's like when people were telling me that I was in like a Right Opinion video.
Yeah.
In my head, I was like, yay and shit at the same time, right?
It's like you got a cameo.
Yeah,
you know
I got a cameo, but it's like, is it going to be good? Is my career over? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was fine.
Because he has like such a good skill in breaking down the key components about what, you know, someone's like personal mistakes and making,
he just tells it how it is, right?
Yeah. Without like, he is obviously biased, but every time he is like has any kind of bias in it, he says it up front. And he in the end, he lets the viewer make their own opinion rather than telling the viewer how, you know, what opinion they should have. Like, he presents the facts, he presents his biases, and then he doesn't say, hey, you should fucking hate this person. He just says, you make, you know, it's kind of like you make your own opinion.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
I watched the fucking 4-hour video in one go because I was fucking dying that day.
The Nika cut out.
It was disgusting.
I got like halfway through that. I'm just like,
it felt like it was just repeating at times, but that's because he does repeat his real life multiple times, his mistakes.
Yeah.
I think the only video that I was kind of like meh on, I think he made a video on like the animation community, and I remember it feeling like, all right, this is kind of like, all right, kind of meh.
Is that the Dan is a plan?
No, that one was good. I like that. It was like, it was talking about the animation community and I think how they all rely on each other for success. And it was kind of like warning that they shouldn't. But like, I really didn't feel like it was like, I was like, okay, cool. I mean, it doesn't really say anything. But I mean, overall, just amazing at presenting an opinion.
Yeah.
Also, Frederick Knudsen, by the way, is because we didn't explain what it was. He was like, he does like documentary on anything, basically.
Yeah.
Just a documentary on
any
anything.
One person or event or
and
anything.
It's so well done that it's just like, oh my god, like again, he has a video on Wings of Redemption, who I had no idea who that was, but I watched the full like 2-hour, like 30-minute thing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's so good.
It's nuts how people can just make a compelling narrative about anything, especially when something where it's like, I never knew about this, never cared about it, but I guess now that I'm here, I'm invested.
Yeah, because I feel like I watch that content not only because it's entertaining, but I also like as this is my job.
Oh, I can appreciate the work. So
yeah,
much.
I appreciate because they also break down as a YouTuber like how the best way to present yourself online is and the mistakes of what not to do.
Write that down.
That's exactly the point, right? Because they break it down in such they break it down so well that you can, like, if this is your job and like social media is your job, then you can literally take advice about what not to do and the mistakes that other people have made.
It's like a self-help guide.
It really is. It really is.
All right, don't do that. Noted.
Yeah,
Okay, wait. Before we move on, like, okay, here's a question for you guys. Have you guys ever like rehearsed a kind of like an apology video?
No.
You've never done, even though you've done nothing wrong. Even though you've done nothing wrong, right? Come on, you must have thought about it. At least once,
in my
right?
head I've thought about it, but I haven't sat there in front of the mirror being like,
no, not actually rehearsed.
Yeah,
but
in my head,
I wake up every morning and I practice the sigh before it begins. You know,
in my head,
this is a really hard video to make.
In your head, you've thought about it. And you've thought like,
because
okay,
there's a few ways to go about it, right? There's the like double down, there's the do nothing, there's the apologize and admit wrongdoing. And from what I've seen on YouTube, it seems to be, unfortunately, that people always want an apology, but the people who apologize and admit wrongdoing normally get the worst treatment.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I've noticed the people who double down normally get away with it.
Yeah.
So other YouTubers, double the fuck down, just go with it.
Every time, double down.
Because like I don't have anything in my past that I expect I'm gonna need to make an apology video, but nobody fucking expects to need to make an apology video, right? So like as you see, as a YouTuber, I see this trend happening. You know, I see like cancel culture happening, and I'm just like, but what if I did need to make an apology? You know what I mean?
Like Vsauce music starts playing. I don't need to apologize, but what if I did? Do you watch any other like documentary channels similar to theirs? Because I have a few. Actually, you know, on the note of YouTube, I think that Emperor Lemon makes good ones about YouTube. I don't know if I
know his name.
I've
probably seen a few of his stuff. But
I feel like his presenting style I don't really gel with, but I think the way that he talks about YouTube,
Yeah.
I think is really well done.
Yeah.
And he's clearly someone who is. I guess I can see parallels between me and the way that he talks about the internet and the way that like I was, you know, from like age 10, I was glued to the internet.
Yeah.
He talks about like, you know, how, you know, realistically, let's say, I think he made a video about YouTube likes.
Right.
So, you know, on paper, if you see 90% likes to dislike ratio, any mathematician would be like, that's great. That's 9 to 1. But a YouTuber sees that and thinks, oh, fuck.
Why isn't it
fuck.
95?
Yeah,
Exactly.
So he basically like did a whole video explaining how like the actual YouTube like ratio system is like 99% is good, 98% is you've probably pissed off a little bit of your audience.
Yeah.
95 is you've probably said something a little bit bad,
Yeah.
and anything below 90 is like you fucked up.
Yeah.
Which is true.
It is
great.
definitely true.
And he made a video as well that was really well done. I don't give a fuck about NASCAR. He did a bit of thing about NASCAR. It was really good. He also made a video about Hungrybox, a Smash player.
Yeah.
And that was a really, really good documentary.
I do like watching. I'm not subscribed to any of them, but I do like watching like Smash compilations every now and then.
I mean, the Smash documentary that came out years ago was amazing on YouTube.
Oh, that one
was that the 4-hour Smash documentary?
Yeah.
That was the documentary that got me
into Smash.
Into not just got me into Smash, but got me into YouTube documentaries. As well. I don't know who made that, but it was like this very famous 4-hour Smash documentary that is like way out of date now because it detailed like the very, very start of the Smash
a human
community.
story. Good
Yeah,
shit.
it is.
It built up the characters of the story, and it did it. Other channels, if you guys like Frederick Knudsen, I know you probably don't know these channels. There's Anxiety War. I don't know if you've heard of them. No, not Anxiety War. Sorry, fuck. There's the.
I don't subscribe to a lot of the documentary ones because again they just take up so much time.
There's not Anxiety War. Sorry, I'll talk about him though later. He's fucking strange. Atrocity Guide. She does videos similar to Frederick Knudsen.
I know that name.
Her voice is so fucking chilling and creepy that even the ones that aren't scary feel scary. And it's like, all right, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Very good. And then
I'm not subscribed to him, but Jay Aubrey.
Jay Aubrey,
Every time his video comes up on my recommended, I'm just like, this seems like a.
Who's the guy who did like that? Who is doing the massive Chris Chan
I was gonna get. That's Gino Samuel 2.1. He lives in Japan. By the way.
Do you want to explain that? Because Connor showed us this the other day.
We'll get to Jay Aubrey back in some other channels. So there's this channel called Gino Samuel 2.1, and like his whole channel is dedicated to the history of Chris Chan. You don't know who Chris Chan is. He's very, very
Infamous
online. And the whole point of, if you know what Kiwi Farms is a shit talking website. That whole website was made to document Chris Chan because there's so much information about this one person online.
He's probably the most documented person in history. That's it's kind of like.
I mean, we watched
two episodes.
We watched two episodes out of how many episodes?
I think they're on
which was like
50 at the moment.
how long were the episodes?
Like 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
At least 40 minutes.
So we watched an hour and a half of like this
prologue.
This prologue, not even the fucking prologue, and the amount of information they got about this guy's life was just fucking mind-blowing.
From like age 5.
From age 5. This episode is sponsored by Apari.
Shit, is that what I'm wearing right now?
Look at these clean fucking clothes we're wearing.
Look at this design, man.
Look at this drip.
Is this artist-owned, anime-inspired quality clothing?
You bet your ass it is, boy.
Oh my god! Not gonna lie, fellas, this is pretty fucking nice. I know we're memeing a little bit,
look
but
how
this is nice.
blinging you look right now, man.
Thank you.
I fucking love the bucket hat.
Yeah, I know.
It's thanks to the quality fabric, Gaunt, by the way, and the original art. Did you know that, Gaunt?
It is anime inspired as well, which is nice for the Wii.
And also, not gonna lie, I fuck with the color schemes.
I fuck with the colors
I like
too.
the fun color.
It's really nice.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I saw this design, and if they weren't sponsoring me, I would have bought it anyway. This is like so me.
Yeah.
And they gave us a little cute little
keychain.
Little plushie there.
So me and Joey are wearing. Oh, Maylene is throwing us an extra shirt to show. Oh, a jumper. Sorry.
Yeah. But this is from me and Connor are
This is
wearing
from the fall-winter collection.
Yeah, you can get something like this as well.
Trust me, these boys are thick. Like, I'm very hot right now.
They'll keep you warm. They'll definitely keep you warm.
We are inside and I want to take this off. I am too hot right now. So, thank you. I actually love this shit. And Gaunt has some of the shirt designs, as he's mentioned.
Look at
He also
this.
has another one.
Thank you, Apari.
God damn!
Thank you, Apari, for sending me more clothes so I have more clothes to wear in trash taste, because
Hell
I'm running
yeah.
out my wardrobe now. And this is the shit I would wear normally.
That design is fucking sexy.
Honestly, that's a sexy ass
I also got
design.
some face masks, but they're at home because they're dirty and I've been using them.
So put up an image.
Here
There we
they are
go.
on screen, and they are really fucking cute. I had the most stylish face masks. I do. I don't want to like clown on others, but I did have the most stylish ones. And this Chris bucket hat, fellas.
I do like the bucket hat.
Because no joke, when I go in the sun, not right now obviously, but when I did in the summer, if I went out without a hat, I would just get a headache.
But now you got it.
Maylene said I was disgusting one time because I sweat in her bucket hat that she borrowed me. Apari releases new collections every season, so if you want to stay up to date with their latest clothing, follow them on Instagram at apariart.
Or sign up to their mailing list at apari.com.
Trust me, fellas, you're not going to want to miss these drops. These are clean.
Yeah, if you want some slick weeb drip, then Apari is the place to go. So thank you to Apari for sponsoring this episode. And back to the video.
So his whole channel is dedicated to discussing Chris Chan. And you're probably thinking, like, there can't be that much on this dude. Like, they've made, like, biopics about some of the most interesting people, and they're only 2 hours long.
Right.
Yeah.
We're on, like, it's something near 50, or on 50. And the reason why his channel's called, like, 2.1 is because I've been watching this since, like, episode 5.
Right.
His channel got, like, taken down at one point.
Right.
Like, episode, like, 15 or something. And he decided to quit talking about it. I don't know what happened, because he got out. He came back. He
Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in.
And he's back. He's back doing it now. And I don't know how far we are into it, but all the comments, and actually Chris Chan replies to every single video.
Really?
Like tries to correct details.
There's even question about the fact that he's making
He
those
doesn't.
videos.
He Chris Chan seems to like it. Sorry, I think it's she now. So sorry for dead naming, but yeah, it's really interesting, and I hope that you keep finishing the thing. You get to the end.
Yeah, because
I don't even want to know how much of mental toll that takes.
How far are we through Chris Chan's life right now?
I think maybe halfway. I'm not sure. I don't know.
And how much, like, how many hours of content do you think has been made?
About 30 plus at the moment.
Yeah, let's do the math. If like each episode is at least 30 minutes, and it's
because
50,
like there was
that's at least 25 hours.
15 episodes to just like Chris Chan being trolled.
Well,
like,
when you showed us that at your place, we watched the first 2 episodes, and we hadn't even made it past age 10.
I mean, the majority of the videos have been about trolling with Chris Chan.
Yeah.
Good chance that they might reply to here, but I mean, it's super interesting, and if you want to, it's so bad as well because Chris Chan's like autistic and constantly says high functioning autism. And in the documentary, and like you kind of like in the start, you really want to root for him because you know he's clearly just been
had a rough
unfortunate,
life,
right? And like you know, parents in it as well are like super questionable. And then the moment you're about to root for him, he's just like, I don't like gays. I think that blacks are like less than people, and it's like, God fucking damn it.
He had us in the first half.
Yeah, he literally had us in the first half, and then it's like, God damn it, man.
You're so close.
Because it's like the Tiger King documentary, right? Like they want you to root for Joe Exotic, but they leave out all the racist shit that Joe was saying.
Right.
It's like, I don't think I would have rooted for him. You know what I mean? It's like, come on,
it's just good storytelling, right?
Because what I find like fucking terrifying about the first 2 episodes of this documentary that I watched,
sheer amount of
was
information.
just the sheer amount of information, and like just the sheer amount of intimate information that I probably wouldn't even know about my own life at that age, let alone someone else's life. You know?
Chris Chan, one of the first things that opened wide like the whole trolling thing is that when it was all started, and I'm sure the comments will correct me if I'm wrong on any of these details, because people are all like historians about him. I think they're called Christorians. Is what they call themselves. So
I love that.
Internet Christorians.
When they first started the Dramatica thread about him, the first thing that Chris did was
correct it
by overloading it with personal information, thinking that they would get bored. But he just gave them everything. Yeah. Like, and it was so, at that point,
zero privacy.
I was hooked. I knew I was hooked because I was fascinated by it.
I just couldn't fucking believe that he was the one who invented Sonichu.
Yeah,
like,
he's the one who made Sonichu.
Yeah, like I could because Sonichu was just, if you don't know what Sonichu is, there's probably a picture of it on the screen. This monstrosity, massive meme right on the internet, and for the longest time I saw that shit everywhere. Yeah, and I was just like, where did this come from? But now I know it's from the brilliant mind of Chris Chan. So thank you for that.
Other good channels that do documentaries. There's a guy called Toad McKinley, and he did a 2-part documentary on like Chris Hansen and that whole debacle. It was really good, actually. That was good.
And how long are these documentaries? Because I know you watched
3 hours.
more documentaries than like both of us combined.
Yeah,
a lot of documentaries you can leave on in the background. I feel like watching the Chris Chan ones. Like they're so long, and often it's basically playing a whole audio clip for 20 minutes. You get the gist.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just leave them in the background.
It's just a podcast. It's a Chris Chan podcast.
Essentially.
It's just a podcast about Chris Chan with someone else narrating his life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, I watch Jay Aubrey as well, because I mean, I think Jay Aubrey's good friends with Right Opinion.
Yeah, I can tell.
They help each other out.
Their styles are like similar but different enough that their content stands out for themselves. But I kind of respect their content in the same way, where they really know how to break down like how public perception can warp an opinion of a certain person.
I think with sometimes commentary channels, I don't like being told what my opinion should be.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes some narration, like I think some videos in Jay Aubrey are like very like, they kind of like, the way he narrates would be like, all right, you should think this way. Right. I'm sure he doesn't intend to. That's just the way I like perceived it. But I mean, still amazing videos.
Yeah. It's either one way or the other, where if commentary channels either, I know you're a fucking clown, and I know no one's gonna fucking listen to you.
Yeah,
like someone like Keemstar, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's either one way or the other. Where there's like so many commentary channels I see that hit that middle ground, and try and think that they are like the fucking holy grail of opinions. Yeah, where it's just like, dude, it's just.
And then you have some commentary channels that just kind of are commentary channels, like technically speaking, but just the way that they present shit and like the topics they choose just kind of go away from commentary. Like perfect example of that, who I fucking love watching, is Leon Lush.
I like Leon Lush, but more humor focused, I think.
But technically he's a commentary channel, right?
Guess,
like technically speaking, but like the way he presents it and the topics he covers is just so. It's like Cody Ko, right? With like the what's the series that he does where he cringes at shit? I think it's just called Cringe, right?
I don't really watch Cody Ko or what's the other guy? Curtis Connor, is it the other one? That's like those three, right? Yeah, because I don't really watch them. I watched a lot of, I really like Danny Gonzalez. I think he's really funny. I think also the stuff he does where he like bought, this is a video he made where he spent like $15,000 on YouTube ads. It was such a fucking good video.
I think I've seen that video.
That's such a good video.
I was like, I didn't know who you were talking about, but I remember that. I remember watching that video.
He's also just got such a good personality. Really like him.
Yeah.
And Drew Gooden as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the channel called Anxiety War?
No.
I mentioned it briefly. He basically does How to Catch a Predator. Like, that's his thing.
Right.
And he's a fucking psychopath. Like, I don't know how you can... He spends all day talking to pedophiles. I don't know how you can do that. Like, how do you do that? That's weird, right?
Yeah, that is weird.
But, like, he goes and meets up with them and, like, films them. And some of these dudes... There was one dude he met up with that was, like, 8 foot or some shit. This guy's built like a brick shithouse, and he turned up pretending to be a girl.
What?
Yeah. And so he goes up... He literally just does How to Catch a Predator. But instead of going there with, like... armed police and everything. He goes alone with like a camera, and I'm like, you're insane.
That's how
does
you
he have
die.
a crew or anything?
No, it's just him. He turns up with a handheld camera.
How many subscribers does he have?
Oh god, like over 500,000. I think at
it's like Chris Hansen hard mode.
yeah. And like at one point, I think
health.
I think one time the Predators tried to sue him. One of them did. I don't know if it worked out, but like the guy's got a strange personality as well when you're watching him.
Yeah.
I'd watch it just for fascination, just to see how this guy does it. But man, it's such a weird presenting style, and he's constantly like giggling to himself while he's recording it. It's really weird, but it's an interesting watch. I don't think it's like. It's something unnerving about watching it because the content that he's talking about and the way that he's talking about it, like he's talking about like how he trolled someone on Xbox, but it's actually some dude who's trying to fuck a kid, and it's like, okay, wow.
I kind of seeing a pattern with all the content you're recommending, and it is very much you just like the human aspect, a human kind of story behind it, right?
There's a lot of channels that I like that I just think the guy's a fucking weirdo, and I don't really like the personality, but I think they're just so fascinating to watch.
I reckon you'd love this channel then that Aki recently recommended to me called Soft White Underbelly.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah,
I've not heard of that channel.
It's this guy who basically, he's like this photographer guy, but he basically goes around like streets of LA and stuff like that, and he picks up like homeless people for whatever reason, and they bring him in to interview them and kind of like talk about their life and like why they're homeless and how they got there and shit like that. Right. So like there's ones where he's like, you know, he picks up a dude like from the street and like asks what he's about, and he ended up being homeless because he like raped his mom or something, or like did some like this like insane crime, and these people just like fucking break down on camera just talking about their life, and it's just it's really raw, but it's so fucking interesting to watch just because you otherwise would never hear about these people's lives, right? And there's like no bullshit, like there's no like, you know, snarky like commentator being or like presenter being like, so tell us your story about why you're homeless. It's just like it's literally just listening to a dude try and communicate with this clearly broken person for whatever reason, and you just some of these backstories, I'm just like, holy shit, like how are you alive?
Yeah,
like,
it's so 50-50 for me with those, especially when they're getting homeless people, because I'm like, it's such a fine line between, in my eyes, being like genuine or just like taking advantage.
Well, like this is like kind of like reality TV. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like the I don't know, the backstory Olympics. You know what I mean?
Like
where
it's like an X Factor.
Yeah. Where it's just like, okay, who has the worst, most tragic backstory? Who do we want to cheer for? Right?
I'm more. Yeah. So I'm always like, okay, some of them like I could definitely see. God, there was a channel where like this guy interviews like meth heads and stuff. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but that's a really good channel. Yeah. And he did like a really raw, emotional.
Yeah, I feel like with the way that you present it, like I've seen a bunch of his videos and they all seem pretty. That's just like gut feeling.
Like, I mean, if you say so,
it's a gut feeling. Like I've seen the fake ones before, and this one definitely doesn't seem like the fake ones.
Just a lot of them where it's like sad music, royalty 3, and then they've picked up some like crackhead. Yeah. And it's like
no, you know if there's like fucking like sad music in the back of it, it's probably fucking scripted, right? It's like you must feel sad now because of the sad music.
It's not even it's also like the sad music. You know they've gone from the YouTube library because you've heard it a million times before on like other channels.
It's like, I see you're also using Kevin McLeod.
You know, like I was in a shopping mall the other day, and I was walking past like this makeup section, and they were using that fucking ukulele. That fucking ukulele YouTube stock music.
That's my favorite piece of music. Just because I can envision every video that uses it. Yeah. It's like way too like fucking white. The white balance is just completely off. It's like way too bright, way too sunny. The background is way too clean, and it always starts with, "Hey guys, today's my outfit of the day."
Yeah, I look back to that period and just think, why ukulele? Why did every vlogger at one point have a ukulele?
You can't be sad listening to a ukulele, right? Like you can't play it like a oh shit, I'm about to cry, fucking ukulele.
Yeah, but it's also the kind of like my family is dying around me and like I'm crying ukulele. You know. Do you guys like Report of the Week? Did you guys?
I love Report of the Week.
I love Report of the Week.
He is like in a league of his own in terms of content.
There's like I also think of him as like a category of creator. Yeah. Like I can often compare creators to him in the sense of like that's the kind of charm that they have.
Well, what other creators do you think are like
Buff Carell?
I was about to say like Buff Carell. I wanted to shout out my boy Buff Carell. Like, okay, how do you describe Buff Carell as a channel?
It is. just you can never like leave one of his videos not being happy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just a guy, like literally Buff Carl, that's his name. He's buff.
Yeah.
He dances and sings. His singing is horrible, but in such an endearing and funny way that like you love it.
Because the boy can dance.
The
Oh,
boy
man, the
can
boy's got
fucking
moves.
dance, and he's buff as fuck as
Oh
well.
my God.
And like,
I love this man
The
so
first
much.
time you watch any of his videos, everyone goes on the same trip where like he starts dancing, you're like, okay, this boy can dance.
Please pause this video and go and watch one video. Real quick and come back.
And then he opens his mouth, and it's just like the fucking worst singing you've ever heard. But then he does it with such self-confidence that you're like, damn, man, I can only respect
You know
that.
what he is? He's the epitome of like, this is what I do in my room when I'm alone. But I decided to get a camera and start recording myself.
He's so happy doing
Yeah.
it. And, like, you're just like, man, I love it.
It's
I love
fucking, it's so infectious. Like, my dream is to one day have a fucking karaoke sesh with Buff Carell. Please, Buff Carell, come to Japan. We'll have you on Trash Taste and go to a karaoke sesh. That is like my fucking dream. That is on like my fucking list of things to do before I die.
And I love as well like the little Easter eggs he throws around, like the fact that he has a picture of himself on his wall.
Yeah, I love that.
It's
I
so
love that.
endearing.
And
I
the fact
fucking
that the
love that.
camera quality is like the same fucking low HD fucking 5-pixel cameras.
And he's like, the thing I love is that like he's not even pointing the camera at himself, he's pointing it at a mirror that has a reflection of him.
Epic, dude. Epic.
It's like
cinematography.
That's
like,
the thing, right? It's like it's channels like that, like him and like Report of the Week, where it's like, I don't care if this is a joke or if they're being 100% serious. It's still entertaining.
I would be impressed if they were putting that on.
Yeah,
because there's no way that kind of genuine like happiness cannot like radiate.
But it's the age-old question, right? Like with Report of the Week, like is that actually how he is, or is he just doing this joke
I'm happy
until
not
it
to know.
catches
yeah,
on?
I don't want to know. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
right. But like that's like kind of like half the fun.
I
of it.
love the memes. I love the memes of Report.
But it's
of the Week.
just kind of like this content creator who I feel like they're just being themselves, but part of their personality is so fucking infectious that you cannot watch a video and not come out happier. You know what I mean? I could be having the shittest day, put on a Buff Carell video, I'm like, okay, my day's better.
Buff Carell's-
Man, how can I be sad when he's not sad? You know what I mean? How can I be having
when
a
he's
shitty
pulling
day?
off these sick moves,
yeah,
right?
exactly, man.
Dude, Buff Curl's Twitter is the most like blessed cursed thing I've ever
Really?
seen.
I haven't followed it.
Because like I think like 3 times a day he posts a selfie of himself
yeah.
with like no caption from like different angles. It's just- it's the most like it's like a dude who just loves himself so much, but you can't hate him for it.
I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
it's like
It's
you have
great.
so much self-confidence,
Yeah.
and man, I respect
Because
that.
it's just like I can't like quantify into words, but like what is the line between like vanity and self-confidence? And Buff Carell, like he fucking oblitterates that line because he's so vain, yet you just feel happy for him. There's no negative feelings.
Right.
It's just I fucking love him, man.
There's this channel like that's I don't know why it gives me Report of the Week vibes. It might be an insult, I don't know, but it's called Project Farm, right? All he does is just review like engine oil and like tools. Like, and he'll like review like different tapes.
There is
like,
truly a channel for everything. Isn't
Yeah.
there?
and he's just so like there was a video and he reviews like flex tape, gorilla tape, and compares them all. And like I don't give a fuck about any of this, but he's so passionate about reviewing these things and is so genuine.
What's that fucking channel that reviews all of the locks?
Oh,
Lockpick Lawyer.
Lockpick and Lawyer, I love as well.
I
He's
fucking
great.
his like I feel like he's like low key one of the funniest
Yeah,
creators
no,
on
he
the
is.
platform.
I love it. Indestructible lock in the title. 20-second video. It's like, oh, okay. All right. He's just going to pick the... So Lockpicking Lawyer is a lawyer and his whole channel, he's like a lockpicking expert.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because he's built up so many in-jokes because he's insane at picking locks.
Yeah. And like all his delivery is so dry.
Yeah.
He's got like the driest delivery you can ever imagine. But that's why every time he makes a joke, it just hits every time.
There was a video that he made for April Fools that was breaking into my girlfriend's back door.
Yeah.
It's like ex-girlfriend, right?
Yeah,
My
and it was like
ex-girlfriend's
full
back
of
door.
innuendos and
Yeah.
like, oh, it was so funny. It was so funny and like,
Like she
such a
didn't
good
let me in
creator.
the front door, so I guess I have to go in through the back door now.
And then there was like rust on the key that he
Yeah.
obviously put there. He's like, I've got to get rid of the brown residue.
So it's
I was
just
like,
you just got to make sure the hole's like well lubricated so you can fit in the key and everything. And it's
I
just,
love that
like,
shit, dude.
Like normally anyone else, this would be like 3rd grade humor, but he's like the way he delivers it was
the
just
dry
so
humor,
perfect.
man. It fucking kills me.
Such a good channel. Such a
Yeah.
good channel. Fuck, who else is like...
I think one of my favorite video of his was like when I can't remember the exact video name, but it was like some guy who had sent him a a lock that he tried to get picked by like a professional lockpick or something.
And he said it was impossible.
Yeah, and he said it was impossible. But I saw this one guy on YouTube do it, and he just fucking destroys this lock in seconds.
It's like if you can do it in less than 2 minutes, I think the challenge was. He did it in like 10 seconds. Like he sees a lock and it's already picked when he picked it up. Like I don't know how this man does it.
He just uses hockey, man. He's just like hockey, like unlocks it.
And it's the best part is there's no bullshit to these videos.
There's no arrogance. He's just someone he doesn't need to flex. You know what I mean?
He's just really fucking good.
He's just really good.
Minimal intro. They're all 3 minutes long, but you get exactly what you want. You normally end up like laughing or giggling. Like it's just such.
I love these like non-bullshit channels. Like I like Daily Dose of Internet as well, just because it's just no bullshit. Here's just like Reddit top page, you know, so like with no filler. You know what I mean?
From what I've seen on Twitter, he's such a nice dude as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, this is like super. I guess it's kind of old, but you know, I'm a cutie pie.
Yes.
You know, you know,
Yes.
he was an ex-league pro.
Yeah.
Right.
He's more of a streamer now, isn't he?
He's a streamer now. And like, I want to talk about him because like, I just think he's so funny, and he looks like a homeless man. That's like the joke.
Yeah.
And for like, I don't know why, but for like 6 months in my life, I could not get to sleep unless his videos are playing in the background. He's got such a chill voice.
He does have like that chill Jesus vibe, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
He sounds like he's permanently stoned.
No, that's exactly what I thought.
He's just so chill.
Yeah.
And I mean, he hasn't been uploading that much recently, so I think he's been going through some stuff. But I love your channel, man. Keep it up. I love you, man. Man, what other channels do you guys like?
I mean, if we're talking about league streamers or league content creators, there's one content creator.
I have a head out.
There's one content creator I want to shout out, which is gbay99, which I've been following his channel for a long while, and he used to make like very, let's say like, you know,
YouTubery videos.
YouTubery league videos, which is just like, you know, Road to Diamond, where he basically tries to, you know, get his account to like high diamond or high master or whatever. But recently it's been, you know, when you see a content creator evolve and you feel like that proud father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's been me with gbay, because recently he's been starting to do these really in-depth league documentaries where,
and even if you don't like league, I think you can still enjoy it because it's such a good story.
Yeah, because he basically breaks down some of the most interesting stories in terms of like the league esports scene, because he has two passions. He's really passionate about sports and he's really passionate about league, right? So what he does is he basically makes these league documentaries that are basically just sports documentaries, right? And he goes through this entire history or this narrative and breaks it down like it's a big sporting event. You know what I mean? And
if you like Summoning Salt, you'll like him. I think he's also said in videos that he's been inspired. The reason why he started doing that content was because he saw Summoning Salt doing it.
Right.
And obviously, you know, speedrunning is really specific.
Yeah.
And he thought, okay, well, I can make it about league.
Yeah, because it's been great because I've seen his transition, because he used to make videos. He was one of those people that made videos dailies, right? And then he got to this point where he was just like completely burnt out, and then he became the update video channel. There was a period in his career where like every 2 videos was an update video, and it's like, I'm working on something big, and I'm just there's a new direction in my channel. And then he made like his first big documentary, and then he went from uploading every day to uploading once every 3 months. But it's like every one of his videos is a fucking banger now,
right?
So good.
Because every story he chooses to present is like super interesting. And as someone who like didn't like I was like, before like came out as an anime fan or something, I would like, you know, pretend to be like a fucking sports fan and everything like that.
Right.
And so seeing him present League in the same compelling way that I see a lot of like sports documentaries and sports fans talk about their own sports was like so refreshing, because nobody did it before him. And I thought it was just like so obvious that someone could do this, basically.
Right.
There's also Exile, who does like that's more like league stories.
Yeah.
Champions. It's still really good though.
I really enjoy Exile.
But that's like hard to recommend to people who don't know League. But,
Yeah.
What are some gaming creators that you like apart from the Pokemon ones? Because do you watch Angry Video Game Nerd?
Every now and then I do. I like, because I kind of grew up watching AVGN, and like I like going back because like all of his old stuff is on YouTube still.
I know, I love it. Yeah,
so like I love going back and watching like the Spider-Man episode. Like that's still my favorite one.
I think it's just nice in YouTube. I think where the platform is just constantly changing. Everything's changing.
Yeah.
It's just nice having an anchor like Angry Video Game Nerd.
Yeah.
It's just a constant, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, whether I enjoy the content, you know, it depends on the video, right? But like, it's just nice having a creator who's consistent, no drama, just constantly makes bangers. Like,
oh, he's fucking. Like, I think recently he made an Earthbound video, which was fucking.
That was such a good video.
Such a good
That was like
video.
last year, I think, but it was really good.
Every so often, I go back and see like the parallels between what happened to Angry Video Game Nerd and what happened to Nostalgia Critic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Crazy, yeah.
It's
oh my god.
Oh
my god.
It's so jarring to see the evolution or the
because they were like the
de-evolution.
top two.
They were like
right?
the top two fucking media critic reviewers, and just seeing like Angry Video Game Nerd being the anchor, and then whatever the fuck happened to Nostalgia Critic.
Did you see his game show?
No, I didn't.
So,
Nostalgia Critics?
Yeah, he did a game show. He funded it like via crowdfunding.
Right.
And, a channel called Ralph the Movie Maker. I don't know if you know who that is. No. He does really good movie reviews. Really funny guy. Okay. Really like Gordon Ramsay-esque, like just really brutal. Right. Really funny. Don't agree with his takes always, but really good guy. Really fun, good channel. But he did a video about the Nostalgia Critics game show, and it is bad. Like, it looks like a school project, and they spent like I think like $50,000 on it,
right?
And it's garbage. Like, it is bad.
I mean, have you like remember that period in like YouTube reviewers where they had to have like a fucking story behind their reviews? Do you remember that period?
Yes.
Where it was like Channel Awesome.
They used to do 2-hour reviews. Do you remember that? And like the first 30 minutes was like a garbage skit.
Yeah,
yeah.
Whereas AVGN was like, I can do that, but condense it into like 15 minutes max.
I think because it's also mega cheesy. Whereas like, I think Nostalgia Critic they're like the same thing, right?
Yeah.
The same quality, but almost, I mean, that's kind of an insult to
yeah.
But they're kind of the same thing where they're like cheesy, obviously like
very tongue-in-cheek.
Very tongue-in-cheek.
They're playing a character as well.
But obviously the two wanted to be seen differently.
Yeah.
Nostalgia Critic wanted to be seen as like mega professional.
Yeah.
Angry Video Game Nerd was happy being like, it's tongue-in-cheek, it's camp.
Yeah,
enjoy,
exactly.
Right? And that's so endearing, whereas seeing Nostalgia Critic try to be like, you know, what's the fucking movie he made that was like The Holy Grail or something that was like 2 hours long? It was terrible.
It was, I swear, like Nostalgia Critic has done so many fucking side projects that have just ended up being absolute shit. Like he made he made a fucking parody album of Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Oh my god, I remember that.
And I didn't and as someone who's like, The Wall is like one of my favorite fucking albums.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, it's an album that's adored by everybody. The movie as well is fucking amazing. And then I listened to that album. I got like 2 songs in, I'm just like, I can't. But then I watched fucking Needle Drops review
this video
of him absolutely destroying it, and I'm like, yes, this is why I love you, Anthony.
Yeah,
it's so fucking good.
It was just seeing a creator just trying to do something that was so unnecessary.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like it's like you said, it was someone who obviously wanted to be respected and be seen as like someone who did something great, but it was just so like. How can I word this? If you
self-indulgent.
Yeah, it was very self-indulgent, you know.
And it was extra like cringy as well, just like seeing that like he was clearly trying to be like funny and edgy about it, being like, I'm gonna trash all over this album that everybody loves. I'm like, not everyone likes this album, dude. Like, just chill out. Like,
the Nostalgia Critic is a OG YouTube channel that reviewed movies, by the way.
Yeah.
Did we mention
that? By the way,
I'm assuming that everyone who's listening to this episode gives somewhat shit.
Never mind about him. Watch Needle Drop. He's great. I fucking love him.
Yeah, I like Anthony Fantano.
Yeah,
he was in the New York Times as well recently. That was cool.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty cool. What YouTubers.
I almost never agree with his opinions, but fucking hell, that guy can.
But that's the thing I like about critics. The good ones on YouTube is that like I don't have to agree with them, but like, damn, they're entertaining.
Yeah, their input is still interesting. Right?
Yeah.
I think like there's a lot of movie channels like that, like yourmoviesucks.org.
Yeah.
I like his channel a lot. He did a really good video on like the Lion King and Kimba comparison. It's like 2 hours fucking long.
Yeah.
It's a really fucking good video. I really like his channel. I mean, obviously I don't agree with all the opinions.
There's also probably one of my favorite movie critic guys is this guy called Spooky Rice. I showed you that, right? I think you and Aki were like super into it.
Yeah, I showed Aki because I wanted to like, because he reviewed like
all the gross horror movies.
The like worst horror, it's just disgusting movies.
Right.
And he manages to be able to sit through it enough times that he can write a comprehensive review about it. But none of it comes in because he shows it as well when it happens.
But like, imagine that YouTuber, ukulele music, that kind of personality reviewing like a horror thing, like, yeah, so then he ate the shit. And it's like, what? Why are you saying it like
I didn't really like that scene though.
Yeah.
I fucking love as well his intro, which is
Goku or something.
No, he's like cue the Gohan, and then and then he's like has a logo, and then fucking creepy Gohan just like shows up. I'm like, there's nothing. He just likes Gohan, I guess. I'm like, all right, I respect that.
What's your opinion on like YouTube intros? Because I personally don't use it.
I mean, I sometimes I think that I have to do it to explain roughly what's gonna like the premise, because sometimes the title doesn't really explain it, and I want to explain it.
I mean,
I try to keep it to a minimum.
Yeah, my intro is like 2-3 seconds long.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like fucking AVGN where I have a fucking theme song attached to it, right?
I don't mind if you have an intro if it like serves a purpose, but the ones where it really, really pisses me off are like tutorials.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want.
Oh my fucking god!
I fucking hate tutorial channels or help channels that have a fucking intro.
It's not even a tutorial or help channel. Fucking when I don't know why every time I want to look for a fucking Sony Vegas tutorial, there's always that fucking and they're always fucking editing some COD footage. I don't know why it's always COD. You know?
And then on top of that, they make like a bullshit like 5-minute intro, like trying to put in their personalities. Like, I don't care. I just want to know how to edit this thing.
Okay, so it's like, you picture it, right? You're trying to install Windows. You get to the guy like, yo, what's up, fam? We just hit 5,000 subs. I think we can get 6,000 if you really like this. So if you like this video, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, because today we're going to be reviewing the Windows installer. And when we break down the Windows install, and it's like, oh my God, just tell me how to install Windows. And then it's like literally like 10 seconds.
If we hit 500 likes, I'll do a Windows 8 installer.
You know it's fucking redundant when you do a Google search on like how to solve X problem, and they pull up the YouTube video that you need and literally skip a minute and a half ahead to be like, here, Google's like, here's where I think you'll enjoy starting. You don't need this fucking
Even
intro.
the Google system is aware of how shit and pointless the intro is. Right?
I've optimized it. What I do is 2 monitors, right? You throw the tutorial on one tab and you go to text on the main tab. So you go through the text, and if you can find it on the text before it gets mentioned in the video, you win.
Yeah.
No, it's so fucking shitty, right? Because you have this like minute and a half of intro. So what you do is you start watching it at ×2 speed. Then the fucking tutorial itself, they speed through the information so fast that you're like, whoa, hold on a second there, and you have to fucking skip back to be like, yo,
it could be like a 5-minute video and the tutorial's like the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, exactly, right?
So egregious.
Oh my God.
What are some? I have some other gaming channels that I think.
Yeah, I got some gaming channels as well.
I know that you watch Darkmain as well. I think Darkmain's really funny.
Yeah.
Really good comedic delivery. Like jokes. He's literally the definition of jokes that aren't funny, but when you deliver them well, they're just so fucking hilarious.
Right. Yeah.
He's so funny, and I met him once. I don't think he remembers because very briefly, but he was the exact same as his videos.
Yeah.
He does he blew up with League content, but he does general gaming stuff as well.
Right. Yeah.
Just a really odd guy.
Yeah.
Just really funny.
Is he exactly like he is in his videos?
When I met him, he seemed like that. Like,
okay.
That's
always endearing. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
He does like a very like dry delivery of like unfunny jokes, sometimes funny jokes, you know, but either way, it's always funny.
Right.
And I met him in real life, and he was dressed up as Thanos. And he had like purple, because he's purple.
Right.
He had like a glove on, and I met him, and he, for some reason, he just like completely unrelated was like, I'm Thanos. And I was like, oh, I see that.
Sick.
I was like, yeah, okay, nice. And I was like, all right. Because I met his friend Red Ryan as well, who's a really funny dude. Really nice guy. Makes great content. I think also, who will come?
Yeah, one of my favorite gaming content creators is Core Gaming.
About the fighting game stuff?
Yeah, about the fighting game. Like he does some of the best analytical content on YouTube, in my opinion, because his content is all about fighting games, but he breaks it down in a way that's so general that anyone that makes you fucking interested in fighting games, even though I have zero interest in fighting games. You know what I mean? I have zero interest, zero knowledge about fighting games. I come out of a Core Gaming video, I'm like, yeah, you know.
You are the type of dude who sees like a how-to tutorial and like how to start fishing. Gaunt's like buying a rod on Amazon. Like that is so Gaunt. Gaunt gets in. Like you watch the AlphaGo documentary, right? And like the next week after Gaunt watched this documentary about Go, was like, I want to buy a Go board. Let's play Go. Like,
Go is fun as fuck. Though.
No, because I like my one niche is watching videos I have zero interest in.
I like that.
Watching a content creator basically be able to break it down in a way that makes me interested in it.
That's true.
That is my niche in interest, and that is what I want to do with like anime to like with my own content. And that's like the content creator I respect. So like with Core Gaming, he like breaks down fighting games on like I think like a social level. He goes into like the psychology of why people act the way they do in fighting games. Like honestly, I think like every video he's done is a banger when it's like an analysis video.
Okay.
But he literally like breaks down the psychology of what goes into like the fighting game community, why salt in the fighting game community is like such a big thing, and he also has like some really interesting stories in between all of this analysis, and it's just like the complete package. It's everything you want in an analytical video, but it's just fighting games. But you can have zero interest in fighting games, and you can appreciate what he does, because a lot of his analysis can be applied to pretty much just life in general. He there's a lot of like, he ends a lot of his videos with like a nice little message, you know what I mean? Which can be applied to a lot of things in life.
Something you can take away.
Yeah, exactly.
I need to watch more of his stuff because I don't think I'm sub, but
I need to check him out.
I think a few other gaming channels I like. Obviously, Little Curbs, who does the Mario speedruns. Who did the best shitpost of all time. Because obviously Donkey, which we all like. Everyone loves Donkey.
Is that the guy who does the Bowser's Big Green Burrito?
So Donkey did like the whole joke in his Mario Maker video. If you guys don't know Donkey, I mean, you should know Donkey. He's like the biggest gaming channel. He did a video where he like made his own level and got the world record on it and was like bragging about it. And then obviously Donkey makes so many excuses in his videos when he can't beat a Mario Maker level, like, oh, you know, my little brother was playing, or I was playing with a USB steering wheel.
I was blindfolded.
So this YouTube creator, Little Curbs, who also is just a god at Mario, like an absolute god, who gets like the world record on everything. Like, I think he's won like every Nintendo speedrun competition on Mario Maker. Right. He did a video where he obviously did Donkey's course blindfolded with a steering wheel. It's so fucking good. Like, I love that level of shitposting.
It was such an amazing shitpost, but there's also like a second layer of enjoyment actually seeing him do it.
Like, he's actually insane.
He's an actual fucking god at it.
It's shitposting has gotten to the point where you need to be like, the shitposting itself is just your pure skill. You know what I mean?
It's insane. It's so good. And also other gaming creators I like. I don't know if you've seen Nitro Rad. He does just like...
I know the name.
He's like 30-minute like essays on gaming, and it's just like, it's like that warm feeling of like watching YouTube in 2014. Just cozied up, you know, just watching someone talk about video games. Really like just passionate. Like, I think there's nothing that's like, oh my god, he's hilarious, or like there's nothing that's like mega like, whoa, he's super unique. Just all around, just a great package. Super such a nice guy, and just seems really into it and really loves his gaming stuff.
That's always the best. Isn't it? One gaming YouTuber I like I kind of respect for a different reason is Relax. Just because like I got into him because he did this like amazing analytical video on Persona 5. And like I respect him because his editing is fucking next level. And it's like, it's so bittersweet watching a dude who is like relatively not that big on the YouTube sphere, who can just fucking crank out like just these incredibly well edited videos, right? I mean, like the whole reason why, like, you know, our editor Mudan, like the reason why I got into his stuff is because that dude's editing on his videos is fucking next level, right? And it's just like, I don't know, I respect him as a YouTuber and as someone who edits like videos and whatnot. And I'm just like, if anything, I've gotten a lot of like good editing ideas, like creative ideas from his videos, being like, oh shit, I never thought to do something like that. But that's pretty cool.
I felt bad for the dude. I think he got in a bit of drama.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
And I think he was like, I mean, I don't know what was, you know, right and wrong, but I think that he was uploading a lot of videos about it to his channel, and I was like, dude, I don't think you should upload this many videos.
I
think he uploaded like 2 videos in the space of a week about it, and I was like, no, don't do this, man. Like,
just double down, dude. We've established, just double down.
I do want to also mention that if we did recommend any YouTubers that turn out to have done some fucked up stuff, we don't know that. We're just recommending based on purely content.
We're separating the creators from the creation as much as possible.
And also we don't follow everything going on with everything.
I mean, a lot of these dudes, we just watch and like the content. We don't keep up with what they do in their personal life. Whatever they do, that's on them. But like, I'm sure one of these creators that we mentioned is going to be like, they murdered someone.
They touched a kid or something.
Exactly right.
Because obviously when, you know, PewDiePie recommended YouTubers, he got in shit for that. I mean, but I want to make that known that like any creators that we recommend, please don't witch hunt us for it. Also, finally, I have one last gaming creator that I want to recommend. So I've been watching this guy for like forever. He's called like Kid Icarus, and he did like, his whole thing way back was that he used to do just PS1 game reviews. And it was kind of sad because I felt like he'd stagnated for a long time, just doing PS1, PS2 games. And it was kind of like, all right, nice. And he wasn't really growing much. And then I'd say like last year, he really turned it around and started doing some really damn good videos, like insane amounts of effort, like hour-long videos about like skateboarding games. And he's just really upped it. And like the amount of edits in this dude's videos are insane. and just he's broadening out a lot more, and he's just making some really good shit right now. So if you like gaming content, and also he's British, and it feels sometimes like his jokes are like British kids TV shows.
Yeah,
and it's like it's weird because like you can see
how so.
Very stupid and very like I don't know, very crackheady, and it feels very childish at times.
Right.
But it's good, and you know. If you're a 12-year-old, you can enjoy it, and if you're a 24-year-old like I am, you can still enjoy it, and it's a bit silly. But
are we talking like poo-poo pee-pee levels of jokes?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes. I dig for that. I fuck with that.
It was just like it's just nice, like you said earlier. It's nice seeing a creator just step it up and like really like. I just want to give credit where credit's due, and
it's especially nice to see a creator step up when they haven't made 70 update videos about them leveling up. Right? It's like just level up.
Yeah,
it's hard, right? When you're a creator, when you're stagnating. I've been there. Like it's really hard to just be like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna put all this effort in. I'm gonna take a risk. It might not work.
Try something new, and
see if it works. And like you know, most of the time it doesn't work out, but you have to keep it up. You have to keep taking those risks to get those rewards. And it's nice seeing because I can relate. Someone who's stuck in doing fucking Black Butler for like 2 years. Like, I can really relate to getting out of it. And I really want to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, because I feel like there is a space for update videos, but at the end of the day, the audience, like for the most part, don't really give a shit. You know what I mean? No. If you're gonna drop something big, then just drop something big. If you're not, then you like what you can convey in an update video can be conveyed within your next project.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless it's gonna be like I'm gonna be away for like a fucking month or two. You know what I mean? And that's just, at this point, that's just like calling in sick for your boss. You know what I mean? Like, all right, gang, I'm not gonna be uploading for a month. Just calling in sick.
Yeah.
It's also the element of surprise, right? Like I've noticed that like whenever I upload something big or something completely different with no pre-warning whatsoever, it usually does better than if you do give some kind of hints to it because people aren't expecting it, and therefore I think it gets people talking about it more.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, YouTube it doesn't recognize the comments. It doesn't recognize any of that. It recognizes clicks and watch time. Right. So if you can get that, that's a bigger statement than being like, hey guys, I'm going to do something big.
Yeah, exactly.
One niche YouTuber I want to recommend is Marshall McGee. And he is basically a professional sound designer who breaks down sound designs in like games and movies and anime.
Oh, cool.
And it's like, I feel like, because he's only at like 50,000 subscribers or something, but I feel like it's because sound design is such a niche topic that nobody thinks about, but he breaks it down into like, basically he hears like a sound from like Dark Souls or something. And he was like, okay, here's how I would like make this sound. And he like breaks down this entire process of like layering
it's really hard,
every sound he does. And it just like, I feel like sound design is one of those topics that just doesn't get enough appreciation.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
And I feel like a channel like Marshall McGee, like breaking down what actually goes into this is like super interesting as well. Just like how much effort and like knowledge it takes to be like, okay, this is what I think, like how would you take a sound that doesn't exist and like create it in your head and like actually make the sound that like you hear in your head into an actual SFX.
Yeah, I mean it's like the cartoon sounds, like a boing. Like what makes a boing sound? Nothing makes a boing sound effect.
Yeah,
I remember seeing a video a while back. I don't know if it's still up. It was a really old video of this guy who broke down one sound in one cartoon, and it was the fucking in Scooby-Doo. You know when they go running? Like when
the running
like
sound?
That sound? It was just a video breaking down how they made that sound and why it's so iconic.
Yeah.
And just finding out what it was and like how they made it and shit and like how they came up with that idea. I was like, how do you even think of that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's something that you just weren't expecting. It's like, oh, it's probably just like a bunch of mallets. It's like, nope. Completely wrong.
It's also strange. I mean, like think about getting punched. When you punch, it doesn't make a punch sound. You just get punched.
That was another video where I saw like a Foley artist explaining like how Hollywood makes the punching sounds.
Yeah, and they break leak to break bones. And stuff like
it's
that
like breaking a celery to make bones crack and shit like that. It's like shit's so interesting. Yeah, I definitely do watch a lot of like music based YouTubers.
Right.
Yeah, anything. I think some music ones I like. There's a guy called Joe Jeremiah. He doesn't upload much, but he does like melodies of like games and anime shows.
Right.
Like piano. It's really good.
Okay.
Just good. Just melodies. Feel like melodies.
We're counting the Seth Everman as like
Seth Everman, obviously. Like
greatest shitpost channel.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I fucking love about like the music YouTuber community is that
their shitposting game is on another fucking level.
It's so shitposty, and yet they're all so fucking talented.
I know, right? Obviously, like Davey 504 as well.
Yeah, Davey 504 and like Seth Everman's another one, and like even like John Sudano was another one. Like the fucking like the fat dude who like
did
covers of all these songs, but replaced all the lyrics with Smash Mouth.
Shitty flute as well. You like?
Oh,
yeah, shitty flutes.
I don't know, like a lot of the music content I consume is mostly just shit posting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's fucking and music channels.
There's only so much you can do with it, and they've gotten really creative with shit posting.
Yeah,
music,
yeah.
It's gotten so
10-second songs is another one that's
really good as well.
It's like super talented dude, but at the end of the day, you finish the video and you're like, I just watched a shit post. That was a shit post, but it's so good.
Do you guys watch any like horror YouTubers? Any horror boys?
Define horror YouTubers.
Like talk about horror,
like Corpse Husband and stuff like that.
Yeah, not really.
No, Corpse Husband isn't horror, is he? Or used to?
I mean, he used to
music,
do like
right?
creepypasta stuff, right?
I guess so. Yeah. There's creepypasta like this,
or like Mr. Creepypasta and stuff like that.
I don't watch Mr. Creepypasta. I met him in real life. I think.
really?
At a convention.
Did you?
Yeah.
How was he?
It's a lot. Hope he doesn't watch this. I mean, I feel like it takes a quirky personality, right? Like, he was nice, but odd by my British. I mean, because most Americans are odd. I'm trying to save this now. You were very pleasant, but I guess you were a little bit odd, right? Like,
wait, don't we have an entire clip of that, which is like Americans are a different species of human?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, we do.
Check out that clip.
There's obviously Rainbot, who did the Mr. Anime videos.
Oh,
Oh, that one. My
Nexpo.
unexpected cameo in that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's Nexpo does some pretty good ones as well. I really like his video, Redditors Dive into Turmoil. That's really good. Have you seen that?
Wow, no.
That's about where the woman who asked a subreddit for help, a man asked to help the subreddit to get custody of her kids, and then the wife killed them both when she saw the subreddit.
Yikes!
And it's just a really,
I know that story. I've
showed
seen the video,
you.
though.
Yeah, I've showed you. It's a really you just didn't expect the video to go that way. It's a really just chilling video, and I highly recommend. I mean, we all spoiled it. I recommend it.
I mean, we all know the best horror channel is Chills. My boy Chills.
Oh god,
The greatest.
Number 10, Burger King foot lettuce.
Dude, I can't tell you how fucking happy I was that I was in one of his videos. And he said my name. I was like, I've made it as a YouTuber. Like, it's peak.
Have you seen the video where he just talks? He's such a genuine and nice guy as well.
Like
Chills.
Yeah, because
He's
like
so nice.
that's just how he talks, right?
Yeah, that's how he talks.
Yeah,
and
because everybody thinks he's like purposely trying to make this like annoying accent, but like I've
such-
seen
yeah.
videos where he just like talks off script. That's just how he talks.
you just want to give him a high five.
Yeah.
Man. He's so nice. Bless
Dude,
him.
Chills, I fucking love you. Like, please come onto the podcast. It would be the most amazing sounding podcast.
Also, a guy who popped up not too long ago, Barely Sociable. He does really good videos. He did a really good video on the Silk Road as well.
Oh, I might have seen
what's
that.
the Silk Road?
It was the website that was famous on the deep web for selling drugs.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
shut
okay.
down. And I thought it was some like mastermind criminal organization, but it turned out it was just some dudes like petty infighting about getting
Yeah,
control.
I feel like I've seen a lot of these guys' content on like my recommended. And I've
Probably,
watched it.
probably.
It's because like it's not the type of content I would subscribe to.
Right.
But like if it's an interesting enough topic, I'm willing to like, fucking click on anything in my recommended.
What about educational channels, boys? What educational channels do you guys watch?
Oh,
okay.
I mean, Vsauce is the one that
It doesn't really
they haven't
upload.
uploaded in a while. But
I mean,
back,
is it even Vsauce anymore? Because he's doing like Minefield or Mine.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
He
any
had
of
a
those,
channel
really.
called Dong. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
I remember
And then,
that.
and then YouTube forced him to change it to like Ding.
Yeah.
Because Dong was obviously
Sounds like penis. Yeah.
I can't believe that. That's awful.
Are we counting like engineering fucking videos
Yeah,
as,
yeah,
en-
of course,
as
of course, of
educational?
course.
Because I feel like engineering has had like a fucking resurgence within the past few years, thanks to creators like Michael Reeves, William
Reeves.
Osmond,
Mark
and,
Rober.
and Mark Rober,
Yeah.
and like I wish they were around when I was in fucking university.
Yeah, right?
Because I didn't know engineering could be cool until they started making content, man.
I think especially like the shit posting ones like Michael Reeves. I mean, I found Michael Reeves when he was doing like when he was branded as like the laser guy.
Yeah.
He made one video about a laser pointing in his eye.
Yeah.
And for like months, his channel was like everything about
It was the laser
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, and it's so cool seeing him blow up, and also
Yeah.
just making engineering cool.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
him and
Yeah.
William Osman and Mark Rober
I
especially.
think the latest video, the latest creator I discovered was Stuff Made Here.
Oh, I love stuff made
And
here.
he's just like someone who is just I don't know what it is about him that like stands out like even more, because he's not a shit poster one.
No.
He's like a very serious engineering one, but he just makes these really cool contraptions, and some of the stuff he makes takes so much effort.
It's insane how high the bar for like good engineering
Right,
is now.
yeah,
Like the explosive bat.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like he
He made a baseball bat that has like 4 shells in it.
Yeah.
So when
Right.
you hit it, it explodes and ejects a thing that shoots the baseball.
Basically, the concept was he wanted to make a baseball bat that anyone could use to like get a home run.
Right.
But like to break the world record for home run. And so he fucking puts shotgun shells into this baseball bat. And he breaks down his entire process about how to make this feasible. And it's like the first problem he had to overcome was like he made a baseball bat that worked, but anyone who would use it would fucking break their arm if they used it, right? And it's like his level or his like knowledge and level of engineering is just like on a different fucking scale.
Fantastic presentation as well.
And great presentation.
There's actually a Japanese YouTuber. I don't watch many Japanese YouTubers, but because frankly they're all quite meh. But there's one Japanese YouTuber who like blew up recently, or like quite recently, who's like kind of like he's like halfway between engineering and just absolute shit post. He's called Sushiramen Riku.
Okay.
And he does these videos where it's basically just him having fun, just like
the guy who like ejects himself on like a car.
Yes.
That was insane.
He does like he basically is like he was the one who popularized the if you carve out a watermelon and then you boil salt water to 1,000 degrees and you pour it in, the watermelon explodes.
Who found that out?
He did apparently, but like a recent one that he did was like he was like, I love popcorn. So I'm going to make I think it was like a 50-meter long popcorn container and just fill it up with popcorn. And then he did that and it's fucking massive and it's all filled up with popcorn. But then he took it one step further and he invited his friends and he pranked them by making this fake room in his studio so that the popcorn would fall in as if it would cave into the house.
Oh my god.
And it was fucking insane. And the videos are so short. He just managed to like condense that shit into like a 5-minute video.
Kind of sounds like David Dobrik, right? Just doing insane things.
Yeah, it is. He just does the most insane shit. Like there was another one where he like, you know, he wanted to replicate the force of someone going into space, but obviously he couldn't afford a rocket. So what he did was he created this contraption where it would explode underneath him and it would just eject him out.
So dangerous.
And he flew like 15 meters into the air and like almost broke his neck. And he's just laughing the entire time. I'm like, this guy's a fucking psycho, but he's so fun to watch. And
Japanese YouTubers are like insane.
but that's the thing. It's like he's a Japanese YouTuber. Like he can only speak Japanese and all that, but he just presents things. It's so visual that you don't have to understand what he's saying to be such an entertaining video.
Yeah. Like we're now getting to the point in YouTube where to stand out, you need to like have genuine qualifications and experience behind the stuff you do, because like a lot of these creators that we've mentioned can easily get jobs in their field, in their professional field.
Yeah, like the Sushiramen Riku, I think he's only like 18.
Oh my god.
And he's just like a fucking wizard engineer.
Jesus Christ. I mean, it goes to show that, right? Because like the quality of the engineering is like so insane at this point. That, like, any of like the top channels that doing it are like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like I have an engineering degree and I'm like baffled by some of this shit. I'm like absolutely
3 years wasted.
Same here. I have a master's in engineering,
baffled.
and some of the stuff they're coming up with is just like, man, is this what I would have done if I had stayed in my engineering course?
Like Michael Roos, and he made the fucking surgery robot. What
Yeah.
the fuck? What the fuck? I met him as well, and he was like the nicest dude ever, right?
Yeah.
Like, because we were at the Anime Awards, and he was leaving, and we didn't really get a chance to talk much. And he came over just to say bye to me. Like,
that's nice.
I was like, wow, dude, like people don't normally do that. That's real fucking nice. I mean, and Lily Petrie was super nice.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, the offline TV crew just seemed like just great.
Yeah.
Trash Taste Offline TV collab when? Question mark. Kidding.
When the world opens
When the world opens up and we can fly to places, or they can fly to places, who the fuck knows?
I watch so many fucking educational channels. Like, obviously, like everyone watches CPG Grey.
Yeah.
Do you guys watch Tom Scott?
Yeah, I watch Tom Scott. I'm not subscribed to Tom Scott, but man, his videos will not leave my recommendation. he's one of those channels that I just know because I don't even need to subscribe to your channel for them to appear on your recommended.
Yeah.
I used to whenever I used to go to the YouTube studio in London, he's always there. Like just editing his videos, and I never said hi because I felt bad because he's just editing. But
he seems like he seems like a machine. I respect. I respect his work ethic because he has like a schedule. I don't know how he's able to upload so consistently with like the amount of videos he has.
Also Corona, and he's somehow still going abroad and doing shit. What the fuck?
Like he has like really interesting ideas so consistently. Like his video where it was about like this video has X amount of views that just fucking
that
blew
guy.
up.
He made that. He's the one
he
who-
made
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
And
I knew his name was familiar.
He's
yeah.
blonde hair, red shirt.
Yes,
and he-
yes,
and
yes.
it's like,
I know him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that guy.
And what impresses me the most actually is how he's able to present his information with like zero cuts in like without a script, just in one
He
take.
just remembers
Yeah,
it.
he
all
just
right.
remembers
Yeah,
it. Like, how does he do
I
that?
remember he did like a Dasani video about like Dasani, the water bottle.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
It was like a 5-minute video. He did it all in one take,
Yeah.
walking down the street. And I'm like, what? Like, this is insane.
Yeah,
This
how are
is
you
insane.
doing this?
It's so professional. It's so good.
Like
Amazing
I'm
channel.
reading off a script, and even I need like 5 takes to get one fucking line
I
sometimes.
do love the memes of like, oh, I'm here. Have you seen those memes? Right? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
good, that's good.
Breaking down the Tom Scott.
Obviously, there's
Koiskastat?
Koiskastat.
Everyone loves him. I mean,
Or
who
in a
doesn't?
nutshell, wasn't he like? Didn't he try to change his name to like in a nutshell?
In a
because
nutshell.
Because
No,
Yeah.
it's Koiskastat in a nutshell.
Yeah.
yeah.
I like
The-
Veritasium as well. He's really good.
Veritasium's amazing.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah, real life lore.
yeah, real life lore.
Yeah.
I like. Obviously, Smarter Every Day as well.
Yeah,
It's really
yeah,
good.
he's-
Do you guys watch? Have you seen Mike Boyd? The guy who, like learns things. Like he'll like spend like a week just learning something, and he won't stop the video until he does it. So like he'll learn how. There's one video where he learned to shatter glass with his voice.
I feel like I've seen that.
You probably saw the thumbnail. 'Cause it was
Yeah.
everywhere.
I feel like I've
It's
seen
really
that.
good, and he just learns like completely fucking useless skills.
I know Boy in a Band did kind of a parody of that where he learned to sing in 30 days.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah,
Which
you
was really
should-
cool, yeah.
Really good videos. I highly recommend it. There's also casually explained is also kind of similar to
Is
like.
it like so
Similar-
like is he educational or is he meme?
Do you know Salmonella?
Huh?
Do you know Salmonella? He does like casually explained, but
No.
more
I know
educational.
Salmon.
Because here's the
That's
thing,
the,
like
I think that's the pun.
Yeah.
here's the thing, like there's engineering and what were you, educational YouTubers, and then there's like casually
Meme
explained
educational,
and
like-
Tearzu, who are just like, I mean, what they say is technically correct,
Right.
but is anyone actually watching them to be like educated?
Not really.
No, probably not.
Have you watched? Do you watch Jay Foreman?
I do not watch J-Form.
He does videos mainly about London, like history of London and stuff, and like it's just so insane how well produced these videos are. I also met him ages ago. He probably doesn't remember because it was like
Yeah.
fucking 4 years ago. Yeah, and he's just obsessed with London, and but his videos are so fucking well done, and they're so funny. And like he'll just do a shot where he's just in the middle of the street in London for like 2 seconds, but he had to
Right.
get a cameraman. He had to get there. He had to set it all up. It's like it's insane.
Wow.
And it's just all to talk about London most of the time. I'd highly recommend it if you like just general history about London.
Fair enough. I mean, recently, like, I've definitely found myself. I used to not watch a lot of the YouTube videos from like the really like big like corporate channels.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I don't really like the corporate channels
yeah.
that much.
You know, like I used to look at like Wired and Vox channels and be like, it's just like a fucking corporate.
Like I watch
Yeah.
a channel called Cheddar sometimes, but I feel just so sad watching it.
Yeah.
Okay, that name sounds familiar. What do they do?
Because they always do the video like why New York has big skylines, or
Yeah.
like why electric cars aren't in America yet. It's like such
Yeah.
generic titles of like I don't know why Walmart is big, and it's
Yeah.
like every single video is so lifeless,
Yeah.
and like it's informative.
I would say
I'm
there's
just sad.
there is one kind of like I'd say corporation kind of video that I do enjoy, and I don't know if this is the name of the channel, but the name of the series is like Big Great Story,
Yeah,
or something like
yeah,
that.
the Big
Where
Great
they
Story.
actually have like really cool and interesting
that's fucking
stories.
cool,
Yeah,
though.
that's a good channel.
I think one of my favorite videos of them was like they were in Japan, and there was this like Japanese person who sells painting made in Microsoft Excel.
What? I haven't seen that.
I've never seen that one.
So there's this Japanese guy who just wanted to express himself. Of
course it's
but
in
he had
Japan.
zero skills.
They
in,
do a
like-
lot of Japan.
They do do
Yeah, they do.
a lot of things in Japan, but like he had zero skills in like painting and like art skills. So he just started like making pictures in Microsoft Excel, and they actually like he's been doing it for so long that they started to become really fucking good, right? And it was just like such a like uplifting story to just be
Yeah.
like, it doesn't really matter what your tools are.
Now
As
that
long-
is a big great story.
that is a big
That's a
great
big
story.
That's a big
sir.
great story.
Goddamn. And they're always super concise as well. They're not
Yeah.
too long. It's just great.
There's also another story about this fucking soup that is being like made in Thailand or something. That was
like 10 years.
It's like 50 years old.
yeah,
or
that's
something.
been that's like been boiling for 50 years. And I remember watching it, and it was just like they didn't fucking wash the place at all. So the oil had been built up. So it was a fucking mountain next to this massive pot.
So gross.
Have you been there?
I have not been there.
Are you gonna go back there when you go to Thailand?
I'm like, if you ever like take us to Thailand, which I'm sure will happen eventually, we really want to go there. Like, I actually want to like see if it's good or not.
Have you guys watched a channel called Captain Disillusion?
Yes. I
the
love
guy who does like
Captain
the
Disillusion.
3D like
He's
the
just
visual
like an
effects
absolute
guy,
god
right?
at like
Yeah.
Blender, like
Yeah.
visual effects.
He just
and
breaks things down so fucking well, and he like.
He's too talented for YouTube, is what I think.
There are just some channels out there that are just like Corridor Digital is one, which is
Right,
like
right.
way
Yeah.
too talented for YouTube.
I feel bad because he doesn't upload often, but you can tell that he like, I don't know, maybe he just wants to do a bit more.
Yeah.
But I found him ages ago because he's been uploading for like 10 years. Like
Yeah.
his first videos are in like 360p.
Oh Jesus.
Like, so
Yeah, I mean, he came up at the same time as like Freddie W and Rocket Jump. I think
but
they
he didn't blow up until like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly. Because
unfortunate.
I remember it was like back in the day, it was like Freddie W and Rocket Jump fucking taking over the YouTube scene, and then every other VFX specialist was like after him.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they kind of like did their own thing, and then that like gave way to like other people like Corridor Digital and everything like that.
Yeah. I mean, there's also another channel I like. The Johnny Harris, the guy who left Vox. The guy who used to do the borders on Vox. The guy used to go to like Hong Kong. He'd go to like India. That guy. He started his own channel. And it's just the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Same good quality. I'd recommend it. It's already been blowing up a lot on YouTube, so I'm sure you've probably seen the videos and you recommend it.
Yeah.
Like the video of like, why do Americans eat dessert for breakfast? That blew up a ton. You seen that video?
I think so. Yeah, I might have seen that. One like as I said, like once I never used to watch Vox or anything, but like their earworm series is so fucking good. Like,
Well, it's essentially like a one person who's in charge of that. At Vox.
it's like one woman at Vox who just like does all these like really in-depth analysis
So good.
documentaries on like music history and stuff like that. And dude, the editing is fucking insane.
it's insane,
It's
yeah.
so good. This episode is sponsored by Bookwalker.
Bookwalker has announced their year-end ranking results for the best-selling ebooks of 2020, gentlemen.
Yay!
Yes.
Wow.
And until December 8th, you can get up to 50% coin back on series that made it on
Fuck
the list.
off. No way.
So this is the top overall rankings.
Are the best-selling books on Bookwalker this year.
Yes.
You should go through the rankings of the top three, gentlemen.
Sure,
so
sure.
I think Joe, you could start with number 3.
Well, number 3 is My Next Life as a Villainess. All Routes Lead to Doom. Light novel. Have
Hell
I read
yeah,
it?
another
No.
isekai. But it's
I have not read this one, gentlemen.
I have not read this one. But I have read the second one, which is Ascendance of a Bookworm. That's actually a really fucking cute light novel.
That is
Yeah,
cute.
and it's really well received. Like, really good. It kind of gives me like Spice and Wolf vibes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
so it's
haven't
really
seen
good.
it.
Connor, have you heard of the first one?
You know, God,
Okay, I can announce this one. Don't worry.
I get
Connor.
asked this a lot. Go ahead.
I can announce this one if you like.
Okay, go ahead, Con.
It is You Are My Princess Volume Collections.
Wait, I've heard of...
Oh
my god! He got the dub! He got the dub, gentlemen! He got the dub!
Certificate of Achievement. God damn. That's
Wow.
best-selling ebook
Frame
of 2020.
that and put it on your...
Congratulations, C-Dog VA, #1 selling ebook of 2020. You Are My Princess Volume 1.
And I've got a bouquet to go with it.
Wow.
What a magical...
Where's my flowers, Malin?
You know, I just want to thank everyone involved. Me. No, shout out to everyone who helped me. Dude, it's...
Wow. It's like, the other fuckers help me. Whatever.
Shout out to
There's
everyone
too many
else.
people there's so many people involved. Dude, it was epic. I mean, it's crazy to me that something that fucking I made could sell as much as other like legitimate shit.
Yeah.
Like the audiobook version, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just crazy.
Joshis are scary.
Hey man, I you know when you make a story around a product, I feel like people are more likely to give it a shot. You know, and I
fair enough.
think people could see my blood, sweat, and tears. It's really awkward to hold. I'll put it there for now. Yeah, I don't know. Thank you, Bookwalker.
So moving on to the top manga.
Well.
Wow. Why did we start with the top overall, Malin? I feel like it should have been the last category.
Yeah.
So the top manga selling overall at number 3 is Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro.
Oh, Nagatoro.
Yeah.
That's a good manga. I'm surprised that's number 3, honestly.
I'm surprised it's number 3.
Yeah, it is a good manga. It's
Yeah.
cute. Wholesome. Tan girl. Cute.
Number
And
two, the cultured individuals
Really?
is interspecies reviewers at number 2.
Am I surprised? No.
That just means there are that many degenerates on Bookwalker right now. I'm
Very happy.
I'm proud of you boys. I'm proud of you boys.
But overall, of course, we have to talk about the number 1 top manga,
You know,
which
I don't want to talk about it. I don't.
What
But
is it, Connor?
It is You Are My
Okay,
Princess.
we won't talk about it.
Volume collection. Again, mine. Oh, did you know? 2 years in a row now. Let's go.
Damn it. All right, and we got also the top selling light novels. And number 3 is That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, the light novel, which I've never actually read.
I've
Watch
only
the
read
anime.
the manga for this.
Yeah.
The manga's brilliant. Yes,
There's a manga adaptation, then there was the anime adaptation,
Yeah, the anime was great. I loved it.
Yeah, anime was nice. And then number 2 is
Villainous,
same one,
yeah.
the My Next Life as a Villainous, which we already established. And then number 1 is A Sentence of a Bookworm.
Yes.
Some great light novel series. I'm glad A Sentence of a Bookworm got number 1 because that is honestly
I'm surprised. I didn't realize there were that many people reading it.
it's a really refreshing read.
Because no one's talking about the anime, but like My Next Life as a Villainess and Slime definitely got a lot more talk and discussion on.
Yeah.
I saw on Crunchyroll that it was quite popular. My Next Life is Villainous.
Yeah,
It's one of the top
was.
ones.
Yeah.
But I'm really shocked with the You Are My Princess results, man. Damn, that really did well.
All right, get your hand off it. Again, until December the 8th, you can get up to 50% coin back on series that made it on the list. So you can check out Bookwalker. Links down in the description below. And thank you once again to Bookwalker for sponsoring
Yay.
this episode. Also, congratulations to Connor for winning 2 years in a row.
Fucker.
Yay.
I can't wait to frame this A4 printed paper.
I can't wait to get 3 years in a row.
Not even glossy paper mailer.
Is this
Seriously?
Is this a PowerPoint? Like a PowerPoint?
PowerPoint slide.
It's a PowerPoint.
It was this morning.
I don't actually care. I had a great time making it. I got a banger of a video. That's all I ever wanted.
This is like that student that turns in the homework 5 minutes before it's like due. You know what I mean?
I got it. I get points for this, right?
And it's like, hey, you've done your homework? There's homework? Shit. Okay. Well,
The power of Yaoi. Thank you, Book.
thank you very much to the sponsor of this episode, Bookwalker. Back to the video. So, question to you guys. Is there anything anyone you want to shout out who has actually influenced your own content or anything about your own channel?
Oh, man, I've so many people. I mean, like, I feel the majority of at least. Man, you sound like a fucking panel like goer right now. it's always the question I get asked at every panel. Who inspired you, Joey? I don't know.
I guess I'll go first then.
Yeah.
Because I guess the first one I want to shout out is Philip DeFranco. Because I've been watching Phil since 2006, and he's been he's been the one content creator who I've basically followed for his entire career. Because I've followed him from the beginning, and you know he at the moment he does a lot of the news and everything like that. But I started seeing his progression when he was like more vloggy and just talking about stuff on the internet and girls and everything like that. And he was like probably the biggest inspiration for me, not as like for the content on my channel, but how to approach YouTube as a job and as a business. Like I probably would not be here right now if it wasn't for Phil, because basically during my break when I was at the BBC and I was like trying to figure out how to come back to YouTube, like a lot of the stuff he said before about how YouTubers and content creators should think about their career as like a proper career and how to like broaden their income and everything like that. I basically got a lot of that from a lot of the things Phil had been saying for like years.
Right.
So he's the person I want to shout out because he has been like a massive inspiration for me. And I took a lot of what I'm doing now, or the way I'm doing now behind the scenes, from all the advice that he's given over the years.
Yeah, for me, it's like, I don't know, like my biggest inspirations for like how to do YouTube and like how to present myself on YouTube, weirdly enough, came from like all of the kind of the big OG YouTubers back in the day.
Yeah.
So like, the aforementioned like AVGN, like I used to watch a lot of his stuff, and like, basically YouTubers that everyone knows, like fucking Felix, obviously, Game Grumps. If we're talking like actual like regular vloggers, like Ryan Higa was like a massive influence for me.
Ah, right.
Like, Niga, like I used to watch like every fucking Niga Higa video that came out just because like
It's good shit.
it's just really good shit, and
Yeah.
it's just like such a fucking like personable dude.
Yeah.
And like definitely like the way like he used to like vlog, especially like where he would just sit in front of a camera and talk about whatever. Like I took a lot of influence from that because that's what I do. I just come in front of a camera and just talk about whatever, right?
Yeah.
And like like Smosh back in the day, like they had like such fucking overwhelming power in the YouTube sphere. Whereas basically, if you're on YouTube like anywhere before 2012, like it was fucking impossible to not watch them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it was because like I guess like when I first got into like YouTubers, like I never really went directly to like a niche that I was interested in because I just wasn't aware of that.
Right.
So I would just basically watch like all the big guys, and you know they influenced me, you know, in small parts. I mean, like in terms of like Anitubers, probably Demo was my biggest influence, but you know, which Anituber hasn't been influenced by Demo? Right? So
I think Demo's influenced everyone in like at least a little way. Because
Oh,
I was around before Demo, but I feel like it's impossible to like think of Anitube content before Demo. Like I mean, like after Demo, he changed the field completely.
yeah, absolutely,
basically.
absolutely. Come back, Demo,
Man,
please.
I cannot think of my inspirations. I mean, obviously, I was watching, you know, all the big,
I'm my own inspiration.
No, I know I've taken like, you know, I've definitely been taking bits and pieces, right? Like definitely like parts of, you know, PewDiePie, obviously growing up watching him, and in high school watching him. Just bits and pieces, I think, from like a lot of different people, but I just can't think of like anyone off the top of my head that has been like huge.
That's the thing, right? It's like when you watch so much content, especially on YouTube, it's like it's not just one person, right? Because otherwise you just end up being exactly like that.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure we can distill down a lot of our influences and, you know, take bits here and there.
If I
But
had more time, maybe I could break it down and figure out exactly which ones really like gave me my style. It's hard to say because obviously I pivoted my content so much, so I know there was inspirations there into doing that.
And you know, it's not to say that like, you know, we still get inspired to this day, right? With like new influences and whatnot. Like, you know, I'm sure like the majority of the YouTubers we talked about today, they've influenced us in some small regard.
We have just listed probably 90% of like our influence today.
Yeah, basically.
You know what I mean? Just in this 2-hour podcast. Is there anyone else you guys want to shout out?
I've got a bunch of channels that we didn't really like talk about that I could
just speed run through them.
Speed run?
Baby.
Okay,
Speed run.
okay, let's. All right, All Gas No Brakes, God tier channel.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
God
God, love
Fucking
him.
love All Gas No Brakes.
Yeah.
I showed you guys him, right?
Yeah, he's like the modern day Kasim G.
That's literally what I wrote down. I put Kasim G, but more political. Like, because Kasim G was more like, let's just throw a topic out there. That's so funny. But like, also Kasim G actively made fun of them in a really good way. Like Kasim G's porn star videos, are like some of the best content on YouTube. Actually, if anything, maybe Kasim G might have inspired me at the time. Like I really enjoyed his way of how he would insult them, but not insult them. I thought it was great, but obviously he doesn't really do anything anymore. And now he's just an extra in movies, like the Transformer movie.
Was he? I don't even know.
I don't know what he's up to now, but All Gas No Brakes. What I love about him is that he doesn't even need to do much. He just lets the stupid people do the stupid thing.
I think because he's willing to go there and he's friendly with them, he gets them to talk to him in a way that's really hard to do, I think, and a lot of journalists just can't get the views that he gets. Like everyone knows he's just going to be nice. Like he's going to show everything they say. So it's really nice.
Like some of my favorites one were when he went to like the COVID party.
Oh my God.
It was just the biggest cesspool I've ever seen.
How every single time he goes somewhere, somehow people bring up Jews. Like I don't know how he does. Like he'll go somewhere, Jews get brought up for being the problem, and it's like, what the fuck?
Just leave him alone, man. Fucking hell.
It's crazy, and I loved it on I think he was on the H3 podcast where he mentioned like the reason like his influence was that like I could go all these places all around the world, but the backyard in America is so crazy. Why would you not want to document it? It's so true.
I don't blame him, man.
It's crazy. There's a guy called Honest Guide who does like videos about Prague. I have no interest in going to Prague. I've already been, but he's just so passionate about Prague. I just love it. Very nice.
Talking about videos, watching videos that you have no interest in, I want to shout out Ristic Studies, who makes essays about Magic the Gathering. I don't know a single thing about Magic the Gathering. I do not even know the fucking rules of Magic. I've never played Magic in my life.
I've played Magic a little bit.
But the way that he breaks down these concepts in Magic are just so fucking interesting. Like I think one of my favorite videos of his is he goes through like the history of like the rarest card in Magic and like how much it sold for and everything.
Black Lotus, right?
Yeah, the Black Lotus. Like, he made a video on that and like how to like how people like actually verify like that these cards are legit.
That's fucking cool.
And then like because he starts off talking about he starts off not even talking about Magic. He starts off this video talking about rare baseball cards and the history of like how these how these cards have sold for so much, and then he pivots that into Magic, and it sounds like a good fucking
cool.
I'm down.
Fucking amazing. Like he's a great content, and his editing is god tier as well.
Speaking of Magic, but on the actual like regular Magic, there's a channel I watch quite regularly called Chris Ramsey.
I think is it the guy who does he opens the puzzles?
He does, he's like a
guy.
professional magician, but he also has his own YouTube channel where he got famous off of like buying these like super hard like 3D puzzles and like solving them in a video.
I've seen it.
But he also just does these like videos where he basically like he did the trend before it was a trend. He actually does like the professional magician reacts to like magic, but like he actually has qualifications because he's actually a professional magician. Yeah, and he like kind of like tries to like he obviously magician doesn't tell their secrets, right?
Yeah.
But he like kind of reacts to it and says like this is a good magic trick because of this, and like he kind of pinpointed in ways where it's like you wouldn't really be able to see it unless you were in the same field.
Yeah.
And like he's fucking great. And I don't know what fucking camera he uses, but holy shit, his camera quality is like
he's got that red camera.
Dude, it's insane. Like I want to know what camera he uses because it's the most insane quality camera that I've ever seen.
There's also obviously love Linus Tech tips. Just
of course.
Oh, of course.
Dude, that video where he talked about possibly retiring like broke me.
That broke me as well,
I like it's such a it was such an honest video and you just can't help but respect
do you know what that felt like? It felt like that
your
talk.
dad leaving you.
Yeah, no. It felt like that talk where it was like your dad's just like, so me and your mum are gonna break up, and it's I know it's confusing times for you. That's exactly what it felt like, man.
Like honestly,
it's not your fault. yeah. Trust me, it's not your fault.
We've tried everything,
If anyone deserves to retire, it's Linus. Yeah. The man has been like a staple of YouTube, and he's been
on the grind, man. He's been on the grind.
Like, and he's just like. It's obvious that his, the company's built up. Everyone just fucking loves working there. And it's just so great. It's just so great seeing people like who seem lovely. He could be the biggest dictator at all. I don't know, but like he just seems like such a genuine nice guy. I can't have my props.
Speaking of Linus, we gotta talk about his latest collaborator, Too Mad. The fucking,
oh my God.
The fucking crackhead of YouTube. Like,
I fucking love Too Mad.
I love his content so much, but my God, I go out there with ADHD. I watch one of his videos and I'm like, my attention span is fucking destroyed right now.
He's that one friend who you have who you just can't introduce to people. No. You're so funny and I love you, but I can't take you to parties.
He's the one friend that you're proud to know that he's a friend of you, but you're also ashamed to say that he's a friend of you. You know what I mean?
I love you too, man. There's a bunch of other channels. Value Select, who I've just shown you guys like a million times.
Yes.
This guy does like skits, and he's probably the best skit channel on YouTube. Does some really good fucking music, like genuinely good music as well. Just so fucking funny.
And he hasn't blown up yet.
No, he hasn't blown up.
Fucking insane.
And I've literally been touting this guy to everyone I know for months. Like every time I go to someone's house, I'm like, give me the aux cord.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put on the song.
You better not play any shit.
Yeah. Speaking of other skit channels, I want to shout out Britannic. This is like a channel that's been like around for fucking years, right? But he's also a skit channel, but he's one of those channels that uploads once every year. You know what I mean? You get one video a year and it's like a 2-minute skit most of the time, 2 5-minute skit. But his skits are so densely packed that it's on like another level of quality. Like every scene in his skits leads into the other scene perfectly. The writing is just like so top notch. You know when you see like a scene in like a sitcom or something, and it's gone through like 100 different rewrites.
Right.
That's the kind of the quality I'm talking about. But because he's been around for like 9 years or something, but because he only uploads once every year, he just doesn't like that. You can't do that on YouTube anymore.
Right. I mean, I also watch Quackity, but Quackity's like that one friend who like is just a piece of shit, but then they're actually funny. You know what I mean? Like you'll have that, you'll know that gamer is just a complete cunt, but then he's just actually funny.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Quackity just does Discord humor so fucking perfectly.
Such a good zoomer.
Like he is Discord as a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. he's the human embodiment of a Discord. Guy who, when I used to do prank calls, he doesn't really get any views anymore. He's called Hoax Hotel, and like he's so good at prank calling, and he knows all the like scams inside out. Really good videos.
Were you influenced by him with your scam call
back in the day? Yeah, I used to really like his videos, and I found it like I really liked how he dealt with it, and he would keep them going. There's a few other channels as well. God, there's the guy Kit Boga as well. He does pranks really good, and there's a guy who, God, I don't know his name, but he hacked into like the Indian call center. That video was insane. And that was really cool.
There's a lot of content creators that I don't know their channel name, but I can name their content.
The video, the video.
Like if I say, hey, those 2 Indian guys that build stuff.
Obviously, like Critical, obviously, we talked about, like, I feel like Pro CD and Critical are the same thing, but like different content they're talking about. Like they do the same thing essentially.
Right.
But ProCD is like talking about food and anime and shit. And ProCD is just meme.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. And Critical is just dildos and
I don't know. I feel like Critical could do a video about fucking. And he's like one of the few content creators that can literally do a video about anything.
He's hacked
like,
the mainframe.
Yeah. Like he can make like the fucking top 10 massacres of all time, and I'll be like, man, if the Holocaust ain't at number 1, I'm fucking leaving this video, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Didn't he recently do my favorite video where I'm just like, this is a video that only Critical can make, which was what was it? It was like
condoms?
the flavored condom tier list.
So it was so disgusting, but so good at the same time. You're like, I hate you so much, but damn, this is good.
Yeah.
Another YouTuber I think we've all watched is you won't know his name, but Kiwami Japan is what he's called, but he's the dude who makes knives.
Yes. Kiwami Japan.
yes.
Yeah.
He just makes he makes
He knives out of everything.
Knife
right?
out of smoke.
Yeah.
Knife out of Jello. I
The
don't know
top
why.
comment on every one of his videos is, "I hate to be in a jail cell with him."
True. There's a guy called Virtually Vain. He also did prank calls. He doesn't really upload much. He did one recently, but he was like the god of prank calls. He did like a great African he did like African dictator or something prank calls. They were so fucking good.
Right.
Like this man is like the king of prank calls. Do you guys know Sorrow TV? He doesn't upload
That
often.
makes that sounds familiar.
He's the guy who does he's like the only channel I like that does like Reddit videos. Like where he like reads a subreddit. Like all the other ones are shit.
Right.
All garbage.
Are you talking about the fucking Ask Reddit videos where it's just like this computerized voice that's just
Those
like
are fucking awful. I hate those. Fucking Sydney watches them
I
all
know.
the time.
Oh my god, this is like whenever Sydney does any makeup or anything, I just hear Ask Reddit this time. Am I the asshole?
I hate those videos, man. But like Sorrow TV is like actually like, you know where a video that shouldn't require talent actually brings a shit ton of talent to the table?
Yeah.
That's Sorrow TV. He's so good at doing voices and like voicing the like Reddit thing.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. Everyone else is dog shit.
Wait, is it actually just the same Ask Reddit threads, but like it's like a professional voiceover?
Yeah, essentially. Like it's like
Sydney started watching them, and I'm just like, man, they fucking leveled up their voice, man. They've actually got
it's
a fucking voice actor to do it.
the r/nice guys Reddit. Yeah, and it's actually like a guy who's amazing as like doing voices. Like he's so good at like, because I'm a voice actor, but I can't do that many voices.
No, it's like hearing fucking like Morgan Freeman or like narrate an Ask Reddit thread. You know what I mean?
He'll swap up the voices really well. He's so good with comedic timing. It's a shame because he doesn't really upload anymore.
Black Griffin is like a guy that does that kind of
Yes,
stuff
I think
as well.
it sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's the guy who does like the one dude 50 voices or whatever. He's like
Right.
Guy's
Very
fucking
OG, right? Very
amazing
OG.
voice impressionist. Yeah.
Nana's. Shout out to Nana's because Nana's has been around for like fuck knows how long.
I remember Nyana's back when she
mega
was
OG.
She was like the fucking daughter of 4chan.
Yeah.
You know what I
Right,
mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just seeing her like
So nice seeing her grow up.
debut as a VTuber.
Yeah.
Like it was just like such an obvious choice, and you didn't think about it until it happened.
Right,
Like
right,
Nyana's
right.
as a VTuber, I'm just like. That's the perfect marriage.
Of course.
She was a VTuber before VTubers existed.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I mean, I was voice acting online since like 2013, 2014, and she was still like the staple for high-pitched shit posting.
Yeah.
Right? And that was back then. And it's crazy to see that she's like peaking now.
Yeah.
Like, it's really cool to see someone doing well who's been around for so
Absolutely.
long. Nerd City, obviously.
yeah, no, it's
Caleb City as well is really
Caleb
good.
City as
Yeah,
well.
I fucking love him.
I like Circle Tunes HD as well. That guy just fucking moves that.
I really like how he was basically, because he can animate, right?
Yeah,
he can
but he
animate,
just gave up.
but he doesn't need to animate, and I feel like it's better because of that. You must have seen his videos. It's the guy who has like he's basically like an animation YouTuber, but instead of actually animating, he just like goes into Photoshop and just like wiggles
moves
like his
around.
models around.
Oh yes. Yeah.
He's
I've seen
always
that.
on
Yeah.
trending.
Yeah,
Like,
I've
yeah.
seen that. Yeah.
I like Jenny Nicholson as well.
Yeah, I like Up Is Not Jump as a gaming YouTuber who like he was the first person who actually did VR gaming videos, but just made it like he like I said, he has this perfect line of like comedic analysis on literally just like VR games.
Right.
Because I've not seen any other content creator that focuses on VR games except for him.
Yeah.
And he definitely set the bar high.
I forgot what that channel's called, but he's been in my recommended a bunch. He like makes video games, and like he made like Among Us in 3D, and he like remade Fall Guys in like 2 weeks. It's insane.
I don't
can't
know
remember
that.
this dude's comments will let me know.
Yeah.
That guy's channel was awesome as well.
Is there anyone you think is like a low-key weeb?
What out of
think
all
a
the
lot
people
of
we
them are
said, I
weebs.
think a lot of them are
A lot of
weebs.
them are weebs.
Yeah.
It's like these last couple of years, like people who we thought had no affiliation to anime are just like Yeah, I'm a weeb.
Needless to say, I
Completely
think
forgot fucking Carson. Call me Carson.
Carson,
Oh, yeah.
He's not a low-key weeb. He's a fucking weeb.
He's a full degenerate.
Yeah.
come to Japan already, Carson.
Yeah.
Come on, just
Yeah, come on, dude. Hang out with us.
I
just
think
do
we
it.
need to say anyone we've spoke, good about on or we like. Probably,
Yeah,
you're
like,
welcome to come on the podcast.
Yeah,
I don't
please,
like
come to Japan.
Yeah, come to Japan. Like this has basically just been a video to be like, hey, these are all the people we watch.
Yeah.
Come on,
Everybody who we
come on,
mentioned,
Japan, man.
you have a seat right here.
come on our podcast.
This is our pitch to you. Not only do you get to come on the podcast, we'll take you around Japan. We'll have some good times.
Yeah.
It'll be good fun. We'll good times. We'll get drunk planning.
Yeah,
Man.
but I'm sure
Yeah.
there's that's plenty more recommendations for you guys. I'm sure you guys
Fuck.
watching
I
probably
have a lot of recommendations to go and watch tonight, boys.
Yeah. Exactly.
Same.
Exactly.
This is probably this has been such a dense episode of
my God.
recommendations.
People are write that down right. Wait, please
Yeah.
slow down, please.
Yeah, we just rapid firing recommendations
Yeah,
to each other. man.
I feel like we did gloss over a lot of the obvious bigger content creators that we watch.
I didn't name any creators that I was already affiliated with. So obviously Didus and Emily.
Yeah.
To
Yeah,
I
of
think
course,
the
of
content's
course.
amazing. I don't
Yeah.
need to mention that. You
Yeah,
should
we
watch
didn't
them.
mention our friends because you guys should know by now.
If I've talked to you in a DM, that means I already know you. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I think that's probably a
Yeah, man.
good place.
I'm just
to
waiting for the
end
comment
it.
being like, "No, if only they did this with anime."
I mean, what anime channels do you guys actually watch then? Like, because I watch John, Super Eye Patch.
Yeah, of
I watch
course.
Super Eye Patch Wolf.
I watch.
Okay, I want to shout out Beyond Ghibli. Beyond Ghibli does fucking amazing anime videos. It's hard to describe like an anime YouTube channel, right? Because that's what I do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how do I describe this anime YouTube channel? Basically, he does amazing anime analytical content. Did a great one on hentai recently. I think just check him out.
Cartoon Cypher's pretty good. I think they have a lot of misses, but when they hit good.
Yeah.
I gotta give a shout out to my boy Shabes. Like, not gonna
Shay,
lie,
love Shabes, love
like,
Shabes.
not gonna lie.
Shay-
Sometimes I'm just looking forward to being on his digest in the good section. You know?
AniTube Digest,
So we should
which
explain
is
what it
a series where Shabes, this AniTuber, goes through basically some of his favorite YouTube videos to do with in the anime YouTube sphere.
And some of his least favorite.
And
as
some of
well.
his least favorites
Yeah.
as well. And this is the one series I've pretty much think every anime YouTuber watches, even if they don't want to admit
I
it.
told him, I'm like, everyone watches it, dude,
Yeah.
even if they don't.
Because
don't say it.
everyone doesn't want to admit it. Every AniTuber secretly wants to be on the good part. It's like, did I make it onto the good one this week? I hope so.
Because the reason I like watching it is because my taste in what makes a good YouTube or what makes an interesting YouTube video is so fucking different
Yeah,
to what
that's
his
But
taste
that's what
is.
makes a good critic, right? Where
Yeah.
you can just appreciate the take that he's doing and don't give a fuck about if you disagree, which is more often not what I do.
Don't worry, Shaves. I'll do more interview videos for you, just so you can rate them good every time.
I feel like the worst thing you can do as a critic is just flip flop. Right. If people know your personality and people know what you like, they don't give. It doesn't really matter if I disagree with your opinion.
Right.
I'm still gonna watch it anyway because I know what you like and I take everything you say with a grain of
He's
salt.
consistent. He's
That's what I
consistent.
respect about critics is that they're not afraid of the backlash because at the end of the day, that is their opinion, right? And it's rather than flip flopping on your own words, again, you just got to double down. You got to double down on your opinions, being like, I don't care if the majority think that this is a good video. I don't think it's a good video for these reasons,
I mean,
I've already shouted out Scamboli reviews before.
Yeah.
I like he's called Chris and Pats. He's talks a lot about LGBTQ.
Oh, yeah.
and he's just such a funny personality.
He
man.
is, he is.
His editing is kind of bad, but man, is he funny? He's so funny. He's just great. He just brings such energy to shit that doesn't need energy. It's great, man.
He's like the gay best friend everyone wishes they had, man. It is, right?
He's so good,
If
man.
I need
love
a gossip sesh, I would want to have a gossip sesh with Crispy Nats, man.
Yeah.
him. Is it Crispy Nats? Is that what he's called?
I think it's Crispy Nats.
I don't know, but when it comes from recommended, I know that the positivity is going to be there. He's so funny, man.
Yeah.
He's so good. And that's really the only anime YouTube channels I watch, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, we basically just did a fucking 2.5 hour long
Recommendation.
Today in awesome. Basically,
We did just jump right into it.
yeah, we jumped right into
Yeah.
today in awesome.
I mean, I think I watch more anime YouTube channels, but I don't subscribe to anyone, but if it appears in my feed,
That's true. I will do that,
normally
means it's a good video that's worth watching because my subscription feed for anime YouTubers is just Twitter.
Yeah,
true.
basically.
Yeah, that's how I
I'll
keep up.
sometimes watch the best of the week that Shabe recommends, and I'll be like, God, this is fucking awful. Because I'll take a limb on it because I trust him.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I clearly have different tastes.
Yeah,
to show,
clearly.
I mean, I respect his work nonetheless.
Yeah.
I mean, he did 2 Ferris Garen Lagan video. I did watch the fucking 2-hour thing. It's fucking long, but it was good. I'll give him that.
I respect
the man
him for
did good.
Yeah.
His voiceover was good.
Exactly. But yeah, we should probably end this video with
fucking thing.
a special thing. Today in Poggers, like that's what we're gonna call it from. Just today in
we
Poggers.
finally got our trash taste YouTube plaques.
You should probably blur that out because there's an address.
Oh shit! I did not realize that there was a.
Here is our address.
Do you care if I rip it? I'm gonna rip it.
Yeah, just rip it. Don't worry, just rip it. Come on. There you go. That's it. It's an early Christmas for us boys.
Susan sent us a letter.
What? She did it? Wait, there's a letter in this one.
We got a letter.
You've done something. You've done something very few YouTube creators accomplish. You've had an astounding 100,000 people subscribe to you. Trash Taste highlights. That's some fine plastic,
and Trash
right?
Taste, look at that.
That's some fine plastic.
2 in 1, baby. 2 in 1.
The ultimate flex.
Let's go.
It only took 600K subs on our main channel to get it. Thanks,
And
YouTube.
like what, $250,000 on the highlights channel?
Thanks, YouTube. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thanks, YouTube.
those are going to be up
Appreciate
on the wall by next episode, hopefully.
Trash Taste is now sponsored by gfuel, the gamer fuel. This is my favorite flavor,
Hello.
the 0-calorie dragon fruit punch thing. I'm not really sure exactly
My
what it's
favorite
called.
flavor is the Phase Berry. I want to join Phase Clan,
No,
please.
you don't. Shut the fuck
No,
up.
I don't.
No,
but
you
I
don't.
I fuck with your flavor.
I just like pink lemonade. I have nothing witty to say about it. It just tastes like pink lemonade, and I like pink lemonade.
So shout out to G Fuel. You can use our link down below to get some G Fuel for yourself.
We've also left a coupon code down in the description as well, so go check it out.
Gonna be a real gamer.
Also, hey, G Fuel, can we get our own flavor, please? We want Trash Taste flavor.
We
We're
want
not
a
going to call it that.
Trash
but
tasting flavor, please.
Trash
Waifu
tasting-
water.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Waifu milk. I want waifu milk flavor.
At G Fuel, at them to let them know.
Add
you
G
want.
Fuel. Can we have waifu milk flavor,
on, make it
please?
happen.
Us
Come on.
weebs need our representation.
Yeah.
Fuck the gamers.
All right.
Yeah,
back
come on.
Where's
to
the weeb
video.
fuel?
Back to the video before Gaunt goes on a fucking rant. Massive thank out to the thank out.
Thank out.
Shout out to our patrons. Look at these awesome patrons.
beautiful
I've
patrons.
gone to my YouTuber voice now.
I hate
It's not even a gig voice. It's,
No,
like,
it's
it's just like
Christ,
generic.
God.
Like
It's just like generic YouTube vlogger voice.
That-
Hey guys, welcome to the video.
I can hear the
These are great
ukulele
patrons.
music
Smash the like
already.
button.
Shout out to these patrons. They are pretty awesome. I
Yes,
like
if you'd
this
like
guy,
to support the
this
show,
guy,
go to
and this guy.
patreon.com/trash taste. Links in the description. Also, check out our Twitter, our subreddit, and also for the first time, check out our Spotify. Because yes, we are on Spotify as well. If you like to listen to audio stuff.
Yes.
I don't think we've ever shouted out our audio only things. But if you hate our faces,
This is going to be
we're
a
on
bad
Spotify.
episode for audio only, though. I mean, the channels keep popping up as
Yeah.
we keep mentioning them. But
It's like shit. I can't write it down.
I feel sorry for Mudan, who has to just insert 150 PNGs of everyone we've mentioned in this video. Shout out to you too, Mudan.
Sorry, not sorry, Muda.
if you did enjoy this video and you like some of our recommendations, let us know. But also feel free to recommend channels below, and we'll check them
Yeah,
out.
we're always open to checking out new content. So
Yeah.
definitely let us
And
know.
if you are one of the channels that was mentioned, feel free to hit us up in our DMs
Hell
if
yeah.
you are interested in coming on.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
bye.
Bye.